Okay. Anything you want to talk about first?
Um, I didn't write anything down, but
Well, usually you
well,
don't.
it's been like a couple weeks, right?
Yeah, I forgot to upload the last one, so you know, we'll
Well,
fix
we like
that.
we didn't record like last week.
Yeah, because I was up there
Yeah.
for
I
spring
mean,
break.
we could have done it, but then I got sick. We could have done it the night I got sick,
Yeah,
but then I got sick.
and I was sick. I've been sick for a couple of days. Last night, I was just coughing, and it was bad. I woke up today, and I wanted to kill myself for the first like 9 hours of the day. And then I walked to the store, and just a really bad start to the day. And then in the
Are
middle
you
of
like
it,
cough? Do you have like a cough or something? Or is it just like
I started out the day with that, but now I don't really. But I had a sip of coffee, and then that's when the day started going better. So I think I'm just addicted to caffeine too much.
yeah? I haven't had
That's probably
coffee. I haven't had coffee in like 2 weeks maybe. So I
really.
haven't had any, because I haven't had any creamer, but I bought some today
Have
at
you had
Target.
any like
Well, like I
drug for 2 weeks? Like caffeine is a drug.
oh yeah.
Have you had any
Well,
other
no, like
like?
I like drink coffee, but I just like haven't been using my like I've been like going down to like my like
Oh,
Sparties
okay,
to get coffee, but I haven't been using.
okay.
And then also I just remembered on my move back from Target that I have this like little like stainless steel like coffee um like travel to go thing.
Hmm.
And I used it in like the beginning of the year and like the fall semester, but then I just like completely forgot about it. But I'm gonna start using it because I need to use up my Keurig pods. Because I have like 20 or something left.
Yeah. Now I just buy ground coffee and then I just open the bag and I scoop it into the like machine and I do it that way. But I used to buy the pods, but that's expensive as fuck.
Wait, do you have a Keurig? What kind of coffee machine do
I have this like $10 Walmart one that you can either put a pod in it or you can
you
pour
have? Oh,
the ground coffee in it.
no,
So
yeah, I think it's a lot cheaper to do this the ground coffee.
oh yeah, it's like $2. I bought some today. But okay, first topic. This is A block of the show. We have A block, B block, C block. Okay,
Oh,
A block. Oxycodone was Hitler's favorite drug. Did you
I,
know that, Gary?
I knew he liked, well, he had like Parkinson's or something, I heard.
I've never heard that.
Well,
Okay, I'm coughing.
and that led to a lot of like mental illness somehow, or like a lot
Wait,
of like
you said it's connected with it?
some something like that. But I know he had Parkinson's, and he had like he was like I think he was like bipolar maybe or something, or he had like
I
a
would expect
cocktail
that.
of like
Yeah.
mental illnesses. And I
Yeah.
know he would do like meth and morphine and
When Nazis actually made this meth, I think it was called, I want to say Pervitin, something with a P, and Pervuitin or something like that. And it was like, also the, sorry, so like it was like extremely, um, perfect, like fine, I think methamphetamine. And it was like not the German military.
Mhm.
Their like research and development made that meth. And actually, there's a story of this Finnish soldier that took his whole like, I don't know what their group is called, like a fucking a troop or whatever. You know how you have like a group of like 20, 30 guys that you like deployed with in the
I think it's like a
this
or a company.
company, whatever it is. But he took his whole like company's like dose of like this not this German meth, and he was up for like 2 weeks straight, like
Oh
battling
yeah, I
wild
know.
animals and shit like that,
Yeah,
running away
I watched a
from.
video like a month ago, and he was like he would stay out like for days on end and like get really crazy and like there's just like
Hallucinations.
yeah there's just like biopic or something like a movie about Hitler, and was watching this video about this like historian reacting to this movie about him, and it was just like Hitler like yelling at a bunch of these like captains or generals or whatever, and like or whatever, and he said like that's exactly how he was.
Um, okay, next thing, let's just run through these because there's a few. Okay, possible book topic. How to live in what you cannot see. So I wrote that probably like a week or two ago, so I don't know what the fuck I was thinking about. But I don't know how I read a book about that.
Wait, what was the title?
How to live in what you cannot see. So like
Oh,
living in like basically like how most of life is like conceptualized in your mind
yeah.
and how to live like properly.
Or like
There's
I was
another thing.
thinking
Yeah.
that like because they always talk about like the government is like doing stuff behind the scenes a lot that you don't even know.
Oh yeah.
So
Wait,
I
what
thought
about the? Oh, oh.
that's what I'm thinking about it first,
Yeah,
but
no, I
then
was thinking more about like how to like a learning thing, like learning how to like just kind of live your day-to-day life better. Because most of your day-to-day life is not lived in just like physically in the world. A lot of it is lived like mentally, what you're thinking about, like where you are on your path in life. That's all
or it's like
mental.
or it's mainly just like you just follow like a routine every day, you
Yeah.
know.
And then also finding out how to create that for yourself and figure out what is good for you, you know, like how where you feel best throughout the day and shit like that. Yeah.
Or just like finding like just moments throughout the day, like whether it's like when you drink coffee first thing in the morning and just like you just enjoy it, you know what I mean?
hmm Yeah, that's what I did. I prayed and I was like, thank you for this because I was feeling horrible like for literally hours and hours since like 3 in the morning. And and then I woke up and then I was just still feeling bad. And then I went to the store and bought coffee and then, came home, made it, took a sip, and I was like, oh, thank God. It was so good. But, some days are bad. Next thing, getting tortured in POW camp. POW camp. Forgot who or where. Okay, so yeah, there's this. I forgot who this was, where this was, but it was this story of this guy who's getting tortured with this rope, and it was like I don't know if they were like repeatedly like strangling him with it or some shit like that. But his quote was, "You learn to love the rope," and I was
Oh,
thinking like,
I think I've like heard of that
yeah, yeah, probably.
somewhere.
And I was like, wow, that's cool.
It was like I think it was like in a movie or something.
Yeah. And
Because
then I was
I've like heard of something like you learn to love.
Yeah, you learn to love the rope. Maybe it's just from a movie and I'm like making that up. I don't know. But I thought that was cool because I was thinking about like just the worst part of my day. And like that's probably just gonna be the same every fucking day of my life, you know? I just gotta learn to like enjoy that part too.
Yeah.
Which I don't know. We'll see. Next thing. Okay, Carrie, remember the Matt and Shane episode with the guy talking about Vietnam?
Yeah.
Yeah, you do?
But I don't like really remember like
Yeah, his
the
name is Colin Quinn. I was listening to Compton, and one of them said this quote that he said, "How lucky am I that I get to do what I used to love for a living?" Like,
oh yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah. They said it funnier because I'm bad at like line delivery, but that was making me laugh. I was in the airport like waiting for my plane, and it got delayed until like.
I kind of read it as like a more deep like I
That's because I
didn't
said it not in a funny way, but they said it funny, and it made me laugh. But I didn't say it funny because I'm gonna learn how to do that. But yeah, um, there's this part of UCF that when I walk to the gym, it reminds me of Michigan's Adventure because like the buildings are all brick and that they're like a courtyard. There's a place in Michigan's Adventure that looks like that, and it's almost identical, like the same like buildings. And it's
really.
yeah, it's like the student cafeteria or something, and it always smells like whatever food they're making that day, and it always smells like sunscreen kind of, which reminds me of
Oh
Michigan's
yeah.
Adventure.
Yeah, I
So I'm
remember
always
like
like,
in
damn.
Florida, every time I like smell sunscreen, it reminded me
hmm
of
One of the notes I have is I want to write about the sense of smell and like the memory of smell because I always encounter my memories with smells are the strongest. It like brings me back to like where when I was smelling that aroma,
like even if it's
really
like not
cool.
a smell like there's a perfume that I have that I
That's a smell, Carrie.
feel like it's not like directly associated with this memory, but it just like reminds me of like a memory, you know.
What memory?
Just like being in my room in Florida.
Mm.
But I feel like I didn't have it in Florida.
Wait, really? So how does it remind you of that?
I just like Where'd it
Oh,
go?
you have it now.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Does it, you
yeah, I
probably,
just,
does it feel like you're in the background? Yeah, there you go. Just on the beach. Big chill.
but it's, you like this one.
Oh, yeah, the vanilla one. I fucking love that one. That was good. Okay, next topic. Okay, I was walking outside. I think I was walking home from one of my classes, and there was this landscaping company truck that was like spraying mulch on the ground with a hose, and the truck was like pretty big. It was like probably 10 to 12 feet tall, like the bed. Instead of like a normal like pickup truck, it was like a big work truck. And this
Yep.
one like fat like Hispanic guy, he was working for it. He was sitting on the back of it, and the truck was red, and his uniform was yellow, and it looked like an abstract of the sun setting. You know, when it's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
you know what I'm
Why
saying?
do you take pictures of these things?
That's what I'm saying. Well, I wrote down that I should draw that, and then I completely forgot once I walked in
Well,
my
you
room.
should like, because whenever like when it was like warm out, when it used to be warm out, I would like go outside, walk around and like take pictures and stuff.
I take pictures of flowers, but that's it.
But you should like do like take pictures of these things you're talking about, so then I could like
Yeah,
see. Like,
true. Yeah, that's a good idea. Okay, I need my wallet for this one. Okay, look at this shit, Carrie. So, how I'm into like alien shit, like UAP shit. Look at this. I've had this since I was a child. Area 51. I have an all access pass. I never used this. I didn't know I could. But yeah, that's cool.
you know, like on your wallet on like the clear side where like you can see your license.
Yeah,
You should put that in.
that'd be funny. Yeah, I saw that. I thought it was a sign that, I mean, I have been interested in that topic for a long time, but I think I was dismissive of it up until like recently, you know? Like seriously dismissive of it, like not actually considering it to be real. Even now, it's hard, even though I'm thinking about some kind of aliens, it's hard
Well,
to
like,
actually imagine like real ones, even though they're
well,
probably real.
I remember you would like when you were younger, you'd like tell me about like Area 51 and like
Really?
that there's aliens there.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn, I was cooking.
Well, you were like a nerd. I mean, you still are, but you were like a
Hmm.
hardcore core like nerd back then. So
Yeah, I still am. And now it's like,
you wait, you but you kind of haven't like when you were like younger, like when you're like 10, like what did you do? Because remember you just like watch YouTube or whatever.
I would watch fucking apocalypse videos, and they would scare me so bad that I would think I was gonna die in the 12th of December 2012. I was very scared that whole year. I'm not even fucking kidding. I thought we were all gonna die.
But like but like you're still doing it like
Yeah,
now.
now it's like I'm self-exposing the like Jewish thing, which is hard to not become a Nazi, but it's like it's hard, Carrie, doing all this alone. That's why I need to talk to you more often, so I don't accidentally just become fucking Adolf Hitler. Because I literally daydream sometimes about yelling like Hitler, like, like you know what I'm saying? That'd be so funny if I had that
I think
oration power. Or
I think I like talked to you about this.
yeah,
That there like people like translated Hitler's like speeches.
yeah.
He's just like yelling just like random shit.
No, no, no. He's not. If you listen to him, he's talking about the fucking Jews controlling everything.
But it's
Like
just like
everything that you see around you, all the companies are, most of them are owned by fucking. There's a lot of. It's mostly not actually just Jewish. It's mostly the state of Israel is like terrorists, like killing whoever gets in their way, and
well you see like
they've blackmailed the U.S. government and people in the U.S. government, like Robert F. Kennedy Jr. They've blackmailed not if not all of them. They've blackmailed like 99% of them of the U.S. politicians um, to get them to do what they want, you know. And nobody ever mentions Israel or like their hand in our government because you're called anti-Semitic, which is That's how they go.
But then you see also what they're doing to like Palestine and Gaza and all
Oh yeah,
that.
yeah, and also not even that. Like Israel will rape and torture Israelis. Like it's fucking insane.
There
Like
is,
like it's they're insane.
yeah.
It's insane.
Um, there in like the Oscars,
Yeah.
there these two I think they're Palestinians. They
Hmm.
made a documentary about like Palestine and
Yeah.
Gaza and
Yeah.
stuff. And one of the main ones, he got like kidnapped by Israeli soldiers and like beaten and like he almost died and like
Out of
I
an
think
ambulance. He was in an
yeah,
ambulance that they called
yeah.
for help, and he got kidnapped out of the ambulance and tortured and murdered. Probably raped too.
No, I don't think they killed. I think he's still alive.
Well, they fucking
Well, I mean, it's probably like close to death. Like,
yeah. But it's insane.
but then like to see him like on like the Oscar stage winning the Oscar,
Well, Carrie, who
like
do you? I remember I texted you this a couple weeks ago.
not even like a month ago to like
Yeah,
now this. It's insane.
yeah. Remember I texted you that Hollywood was created by Jews who
Yep.
were run out of the New York film like industry when it was being created. That's why they created Hollywood. And Hollywood started with pretty much getting blackmail on people so they would you could so that they would do what you want, or just like doing things like a movie producer have would literally just be a pedophile and have sex with the
Yeah.
underage actresses.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that was from the creation of Hollywood. And today it's just still all that's going on. You know what I'm saying? And it's like all organized to be like that. Like it's not like just happens to be like that. Like same with the government.
Yeah. What
Like
something that I just like thought of recently.
hmm
So during the was I think it was like the 1930s maybe
hmm
like during the Great Depression, I think, or something like that. There was like the big five studio system in Hollywood with like Warner Bros. And Universal and all like these big studios. And then they broke it down and they like controlled the production of the film and like the theatrical version with like the theaters and like the distribution. So then when and then there's like a deal signed that like they had to split everything up and like make smaller studios and like do all that.
hmm
And then
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
in the 70s it happened again where these studios had all this great power and stuff and then like they had to like make another deal to like split their power and
Like
everything.
trust breaking, like antitrust
Yeah.
laws. Okay.
Yeah. And I think that's gonna happen again like soon, I feel like.
I have a feeling it'll happen in the 2030s. Like
Yeah.
I have a feeling that the
Especially with like now there's like the streaming services and everything and like how just like messed up it is now with the studios.
I have a feeling that the entire 20th century is going to kind of like re-happen. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
I learned today about the Federal Reserve. Do you know what that is? You said no. Okay, Carrie. Imagine if a private corporation ran the banking in all of America.
Yeah.
Do you think that would be good or bad? If just a company.
Bad.
Okay,
Bad.
why? Why?
And it's like of like all the power and everything and
Centralized power.
they
Okay.
could do like basically whatever they want because it's like they're the only ones who are like doing it.
hmm And it's unchecked, yeah.
Yeah.
And guess what happened in 1913? A group of six men created the Federal Reserve, which is neither federal or a reserve. So a it's basically how the Nazis called themselves the National Socialist Workers Party, but they were not a National Socialist Workers Party, you know. And yeah, that's the same thing. They tricked, like in 1913, they created it. They planned it. These six guys, I forgot all of their names, but two of them to get. So this was a secret meeting because basically, in the 1800s, this shit's fucking crazy because you never learn about this in school. But from the 1830s up until 1913, for like 83 years, all of America was like the same way how we're all arguing about like AI, they were arguing about like centralized banking because some people wanted that and some people didn't. I think Hamilton wanted it and Jefferson didn't. And they tried to make a central bank in the 1830s, I think. And then because I think Andrew Jackson, the guy who fucking like I think the guy who made the Indians walk on the Trail of Tears and like kill
Yeah, I
them
did
along
see
the
that.
way. Yeah. And I think, yeah, he was, even though he was like that guy, he was also that guy because he was against this and he stopped it in the 1830s. And it
Like
took him another
what
83 years to actually get this plan into place. And
like
now it's been 130 years, 120 years, and here we are. And it's been implemented. And it's like how the world works now.
yeah, what they like talk about on the President's podcast, which I've not watched in a while. I need to watch that again.
Yeah,
But
same.
they like talk about how there's like cowboys and nerds in presidency, and like cowboys get shit done, and like nerds make the plan to get it done, or like talk about it, or something like that. Or, like exactly, but like they say
Yeah,
that like Andrew Jackson was
yeah,
like,
basically, yeah, my view on how the government works has changed in the past, like recently, because I used to think it was like that, but now I'm starting to see like it's first of all, everything is the government. Like name a company.
Coca-Cola.
Yeah, that's part of the government, and it the way the government works in the modern day, and the way it's worked since they killed Kennedy is they. This is how they killed Kennedy. They let a third party do it, and then they technically weren't doing anything. You know what I'm saying? It was another guy, but who told
Yeah,
that guy to go kill him? You know what I'm saying? And that's how all of corporations work today. The banana wars with the fruit companies and Latin American countries. Guatemala was overthrown. It was the first like CIA operation. It was in the 1950s, and the United Fruit Company bought up a lot of Guatemala's land to make and sell fruit in just internationally, and it was an American-based company. And this corporate lawyer, I think his name was Alan Dulles, who was the co-founder of the CIA. Um, he co-founded the CIA, and one of their first things was to overthrow the Guatemalan government because the Guatemalan government that was put in charge by the elections that were held by the people. He started. He bought the land from the company and started giving it back to like farmers and people, Guatemalans, instead of
mhm,
this foreign company. And I think they murdered him and then put in charge a dictator, which was the first of many until, today they're still doing that. Same
yeah,
thing with Ukraine. Like Ukraine is like a proxy war and it's like faked. Like the US, I'm pretty sure the CIA couped Ukraine in 2014 to put I think Zelensky into power. And then I think that's when and then also that's when I think 2013 Russia took back Crimea. And like all of those, it's crazy how things I heard it as a kid, and then now I'm rethinking about them, and I'm like, oh, that's what that was. I thought there was just world events happening, but it was like everything is almost like painted. You know what I'm saying? It's like controlled, and it's all a narrative that is like created by the people with literally trillions of dollars. Because you know who the billionaires are, but you've never heard of the trillionaires. You know what I'm saying? And there are trillionaires because they're families who just have all of their they don't even use money because money is for us poor people. They don't need money because they're like the same way you wake up every day and you feel like, oh, I'm just gonna wake up the next day. That's how they feel, like kind of like monetarily. Like they don't even need money. Like the same way a homeless person doesn't need money. But they're on the opposite end, you know? It's like the bell curve goes from like bottom and then it gets bigger and then goes down. That's like the usage of money, probably. Like homeless people don't use it, don't need it, they see through it. Everybody else, and then the richest people in the world, the biggest families, they don't need it, see it, use it. It's for poor people, you know what I'm saying? That's what they always say, as above, so below. Like the top is always kind of the same as the very bottom, and the middle is where stuff happens, where we kind of see most everything change.
Yeah.
Let's get into the next topic.
Thank God.
Okay, I came home from the airport, right? This
Mhm.
flight was delayed fucking 6 hours, and then I
Oh
had it was, taxiing and then flying and then taxiing again. That took another 3 hours. So I was in Florida at like 4 in the morning, and I got back here at like maybe like a few after four. And my Uber driver, 4 in the morning. I don't know if how long he was working, but I think he was going insane. He was telling me that he used to work for a weapons like company that did laser guided missiles, and he said. And at first, he was just talking about lasers, and I was like, that sounds so cool. This guy used to like be in the business of like lasers, you know what I'm saying? And I've never heard anybody do that, you know. So I thought it was interesting. And then I was like, oh, I was just making conversation early in the morning, you know. I was pretty much half awake, and I was like, oh, why'd you stop? Then he was like, oh, I didn't like having on my mind like innocent deaths all the time. And I was thinking, like, Jesus Christ, imagine all the kids in Gaza he probably indirectly like murdered, you know,
now
with
he's
all
an
those
Uber.
fucking missiles. Yeah, now he's an
Now
Uber driver, and he said he's happier. So that's kind of cool. That's the same coffee cup. I thought you stole my coffee cup. I was about to be like, bitch, where'd you get that?
no, I'm trying lemon tea for the first time. So
I was sick today, and I was thinking about getting tea. How is it?
not bad. If you're gonna try tea for the first time, like tea bags, I would try doing, there's like a variety pack of like fruit tea, you know?
Really? The one
Yeah.
I had, it was like a caffeine substitute, and it was orange, and I put like two tea bags, and it was fucking so like strong. Like the flavor
Why'd you
was
put
like,
two?
because I was like, oh, I'm trying to like get hyped up. Like this is trying to be my tea. This was when I used to live in Orlando, like last year,
Okay.
and I was not now. But
No, but like tea, it's not supposed to be like so strong. It's just be like,
yeah, I was treating it like coffee. I was trying to make it like really strong and really get it.
and
And
then
then
you
yeah,
said your thing looks like a Keurig, your coffee
yeah, pretty
maker.
much it's like a Keurig.
So if you just like put
I
it,
just put a
put
tea bag in there. Wait, can't it just do
no,
it?
no, no, no. Wait, I don't know if this will work, but what I do, I just like don't put a pot in, and I just like close it and run it. So just like hot water spews out,
Uh,
and then I just put the tea bag in the thing
that's
and let
smart.
it like, sit.
Yeah,
I don't know if yours, but I don't know what your machine is like, but
yeah. It just gets the water hot and it runs it through the grounds.
yeah, yeah. So just don't put any grounds or anything in it,
Hmm.
and just like let.
Yeah, because
I
in
would
these
just
here,
do it, but I would do it without the tea bag first because you probably need to clean your system out,
clean my what?
like your coffee system out
Oh
with
yeah, I
like
do
the
that.
water.
Wait, how do
Oh,
you
you
clean
do.
it
Okay.
out? Like the
You just like
inside?
run it. Just like run it a few times.
Oh,
Or
okay,
like you can put like vinegar in it. Or I don't know what machine you got,
okay.
but
It's like
for
literally
mine,
$9, I think, from Walmart.
for
It
mine,
was
I just put like distilled or like half vinegar, half water, and
yeah,
then it run.
yeah. It
Um,
cleans it out.
or there's like pods, like degrading, like cleaning pods you can get that I bought, and
Like
like actually
Tide
makes it.
Pods.
No, they're like cleaning pods for your Keurig thing.
Okay,
And like after I did that, it like definitely like it tastes a lot better. I feel like
Gary.
for, without the buildup and everything.
Oh really? It actually made it taste better. But was that the first time you cleaned it in like a while?
Well, like that was my first time cleaning it with the pod because I didn't know they had those like pod thingies.
Okay, maybe I'll look for that.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'll send you a picture of
Oh, of this stuff. Okay. Wait, my next topic, Carrie. Do you know what a synchronicity is?
it.
Okay, Carl Jung talked about this in one of his books, and it's basically like when you notice something happen, like quantum entanglement. Okay, so two particles can be quantumly entangled no matter how far the distance is, and like if it one spins counterclockwise, the other one will be doing the same thing, you know? And synchronicities, I think, have something to do with that because it's kind of like noticing patterns in your daily life where it's like, I think two people doing the same thing, or yeah, I think it's just a lot of two people doing the same thing, or whatever the fuck it is. I should have looked it up before because I probably should have had a definition. But anyway, I,
I
mhm.
I get what you mean.
Okay, yeah, because I was walking outside the other day going to class and I randomly put my phone in my back right pocket, and the guy I happened to be walking in front of or behind did the exact same thing. And I was like, what the fuck? And then,
Yeah, Kirsten and I do that sometimes.
yeah,
We like do the same. I think we did it like today or
and
yesterday.
then in my anthropology class, this kid who always sits like directly in the like a desk, two desks in front of me, so there's like a separation. I got to class like probably 5 minutes late because I was walking around longer than I usually do between classes. And I got to class and everybody was already there. And the kid was, I sat down in a desk that I don't usually sit down in. And then I look in front of me, and the kid who usually always sits in front of me is still sitting in front of me, but I'm in a different desk, you know? So I was like, how the fuck is he that happens to be in the desk that I'm sitting behind? You know what I'm saying? It's crazy.
Mm.
And I think
When
Jung said that synchronicities like increase the more you notice them. So I always try to notice if I see one, you know, and like think
you
about it,
can't, but like you can't be on the lookout for it. You kind of just have to like,
let it happen. You know?
yeah,
Yeah, because if you're looking for them, then you'll just find
or
patterns. But yeah, if they just happen throughout your daily life, then it's like, oh, I see it, you know. And sometimes you just don't notice them because you're not aware, because you're like distracted.
yeah,
Did you know that in during the Clinton administration, okay, they so some secret guys named Jewish people refurbished the West Wing of the White House. I
yeah.
think that they planted cameras and fucking microphones in there so then they could get blackmail on the people who are like doing illegal activities in the White House, like fucking kids and doing making kids like do drugs so you can have sexual
Didn't
relations.
Clinton, didn't
Yeah.
Clinton do that with
Monica Lewinsky was literally, I'm not 100% sure. I should have looked into this one too, but I'm pretty sure she was a Mossad agent. That is the Israeli CIA. Also, the CIA and the Mossad were created around the same time, and they're pretty much like the two sides of the same coin. They like do shit for Israel a lot of the time, you know, or Americans who are Zionists, you know, because just saying they always happen to have like a lot of money.
there's
You know,
always um like conspiracy theories or whatever that like celebrities are some celebrities are excited.
that's not a conspiracy theory. That's just a
Or
fact.
like
No, there are
well
some
some like
celebrities who are Zionists. That's not a conspiracy
well
theory. That is,
some I see that are I'm just like they're not.
what do you mean?
Like they say that like Harry Styles is one. I'm just like
Well, maybe well, think about this. Basically, the entire music industry was created to siphon out like up and coming talent from the lower class and the middle class and siphon out any money that they would make pretty much almost directly straight up to the top in those contracts. I watched some like pop artists, I forgot, break down like how the average contract works, and basically they give you your advance, let's say it's like 250K, and then they say you have to make an album with this, and then you make your album. And let's say you actually are like, I'm not going to spend any other money. Let's actually do this. And then you find out, like, once you make the album, you get like $1 million in sales. The people who gave you the offer, what is that called? The company? What is that? The media
like
group, whatever it is. They take their cut of like the sales, and then they take cuts from like touring and just random bullshit that like their lawyers will make up to find more ways to take money from the artist sales, you know, let's say they're popping off. And then that's pretty much how they have you because now even though they gave you $250,000, you somehow end up, and then with that $250,000, you make an album that sells, let's say, $1 million in sales. Somehow, even though you seem like a successful person in the music industry, you end up owing them like $975,000. And then you have to make another album for them because you owe them that much money. And then that cycle repeats. And that's why so many artists like are stuck touring for so long. Like Roy Lotus is probably in a fucking shitty deal because they've been touring for months and months and months. They
Well,
probably they probably are not even breaking even. They're probably touring doing the next shows just to pay for these shows that they
well,
just did. You know what I'm saying? It's
well,
probably horrible. And that's kind of why I don't want to get
they
famous
stopped
in music.
they stopped touring in December
hmm And
before Christmas.
yeah, I feel
And
like there's
they're doing like a few shows in the US like
mhm.
this year over the summer.
Yeah, hopefully they're not
But they're
fucked,
doing
but a lot of people
they're
are.
they're making their new album or new music in LA right now.
That's true.
Actually, which just happened a few days ago, or technically, or like today too. Their Instagram, they like deleted everything on their Instagram.
Yeah, they artists usually do that.
Oh, and then they have like a new profile picture. So
Well,
something's happening.
I'm guessing it's the next album.
Yes, got it. Well,
hmm
it's been like a year. It's been more than a year since their first album. So,
Yeah, that money got to be paid at some point to those Jews, Carrie. Those greedy bastards. Carrie,
like,
did you know that I watched a fucking video of a rabbi? Like, it was after their service. And I swear to fucking God, this motherfucker had dollar bills and he was giving it to each person. And they were like, please, um, pray for my family. We're doing some good business for the Jewish community. He was like, have $2, and I was like, this motherfucker. These they. I saw a fucking. There's a. Do you know Five Ish, the fucking $5 bill mascot for is like fucking Israeli kids? It's this show with a fucking $5 bill mascot. Literally, I'm not even fucking making this shit up. So it was so fucking funny. And then it was reading the Jerusalem Times or whatever the fuck today. It was so funny. It was like talking about how to make a good investment in Israel in 2025 and shit. And I was just,
you
but
know,
boy,
Miles with this like impression.
yeah, for real, yeah, yeah. But yeah, that's. I just gotta remember to follow with compassion and love and not try to kill these motherfuckers because I want to hurt them, Gary.
It's like change the subject.
Yeah, let's change the subject to the C block. Have
Oh,
Carrie help create 4 questions for the former Congress people attending my class in a couple days. So there's 2 Congress people that used to be in Congress, and we have to. This is in my American government class. We have to ask them. We have to write down questions and ask them. We have to like print out questions. So I need your help finding. Give me 4 questions for these people, Carrie.
you know who the Congress people are.
I don't care that much. I'm just gonna. I was thinking about asking them, what do you think about Israel? And then just asking them more detailed questions about where they get their money and where their funds come from and shit like that. Because that's what I really want to know. Because like that's what controls everything. Fucking paychecks. What'd you say?
Interrogate them.
Hmm. Oh,
And
interrogate them. Yeah, yeah. My professor would not like that, but that'll be
what did your
fun.
professor think about that one paper you wrote?
Oh, I don't think he even graded it. He probably gave it a 0 because it didn't have the word limit. He probably didn't even read it. He probably just saw it didn't have the word limit and like was like, oh fuck this.
So then why? Oh,
That's what I'm saying. Why would I even write it? Because this is this fucked system that I live in. Carrie, let me just speak for a
no,
moment
why?
on this. Because
No,
I
okay.
have to fucking write propaganda to myself, for myself, to get this goddamn grade that I don't give a fuck about, to get a degree that I don't care about, to get a job that I don't care about. So, like, all of it is fake and it's not real. And it's just for money, which is just arbitrary. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. This is why I'm
Um,
going crazy, Carrie.
so then why'd you not go to the word limit?
The word woman?
Limit.
Oh, because I was just I like said what I needed to say. I pretty concisely said like what I thought. Yeah. You don't understand. I wish you could have the perspective I did because you would feel like you're in a prison. That's what I feel like. Like
That's how I,
I'm not in prison, but I feel like I live in one because
that's
it's fucking
how
hard.
I,
I want to go, I want to be educated by a yogi. That would be cool and fun and
wait,
much more interesting than being educated by like a liberal professor.
is that Yoshi?
Yoshi, the
The
turtle
turtle.
from, yeah,
All right. Just imagine you getting taught by him.
for real. Carrie, do you think your imagination is real? Like, do you think it exists somewhere else, or do you think it's just like fake?
I think it's just in my mind.
But does that mean it exists because your mind exists? Like, what you
Yeah,
imagine, does that exist?
yeah, yeah.
Do you think when you're imagining things, do you think your mind like goes somewhere where imagined things exist to imagine them? Or do you think like how does that work?
I think it like just happens simultaneously. Like if I'm, you're talking to me about Israel, I'm like thinking of the Israel flag or country or whatever. So I think it just happens.
Or you're thinking about images of almost every US president touching the wall with that little fucking hat on their
I
head.
think, I
Even
think,
Donald Trump has done it.
or
Literally, they've
you're,
blackmailing everybody, Carrie. It's fucking horrible.
you're like 0.5% Jewish.
Yeah, that's why I want to kill myself, Carrie.
No.
It's an internal battle.
So,
No, I'm playing.
so what about like the Holocaust?
Carrie, they fucking faked a lot of the numbers. And then, like, the idea of the fucking Holocaust, I'm pretty sure this one guy wrote a book about it. He said they didn't even start saying that shit till 1957. I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like,
Probably got all of their records accounted for and counted and like said,
I would like you to show me because they always say that, but nobody ever
okay,
shows.
you
And
show me your proof on.
yeah, like the tattoos, they only go up to like 200K. They don't go up to 6 million. And people have done math on how often they would have to fucking be killing thousands of people at a time to get 6 million in 5 years. And they were saying in the entire, during the entire war, if they were consistently running the camps, literally 24/7 on the clock, they were putting like a thousand people at a time into a chamber to like gas them and kill them. Like if they were totally going as fast as possible to kill as many Jews as possible, then they could have hit the 6 million number. But
Or like,
they
do they
didn't because they had to do maintenance and repairs sometimes to some of the places because they were buildings. They weren't just like machines that were effortlessly running. It was all people running this whole operation that was mainly work camps, and people died during work camps and they shouldn't be put to work camps, which is it's still inhumane punishment. It's not like that's right, but it's like tell me your lies, tell me the fucking narrative, push the lies on the people, Carrie. You talk.
so so okay, what about how the Nazis treated like the Jewish people in
Again, yes, they treated them badly, but they didn't turbo kill 6 million of them. They killed probably like hundreds of thousands of them, but not like decimated their population. You know what I'm saying? They run the world today. How do you think they fucking did that? They partially did that by lying about this for so many years to make people think that everybody fucking hates them. And now, if you even have a slight doubt about Jewish people, you think, "Oh, I'm a Nazi," but you're not. You're just doubting somebody's bad actions because everybody does bad actions.
okay, but like what like not in like camps, but what if like when like Nazis used to like ambush like their homes or whatever and like they'd probably kill them then or I don't know. Or in the what's it called? Uh
Oh, Crystal Knot?
it's
Yeah,
no,
Crystal
like
Knot.
it's
Yeah,
Gestapo.
yeah.
I
I've
don't
got to
know what
learn more about the history because it interests me a lot. Like, think about basically like you exist in a world of propaganda today. So imagine for the past 70 years, like some of the history you've been taught is partially propaganda. But propaganda doesn't mean it's a complete lie. It means that they can use a truth and turn it into something that benefits them. So if you think that at a time in history, a certain group of people went after a specific group of people the hardest in history, then it would be very useful for that victim group of people for the next 100 years, which it has been because
Like slavery.
slavery is not exclusively a black person lie. Slavery, everybody has been, every race of person in the history of the world, I think, has been slaves because for some reason humans love enslaving each other. And yeah, slavery is weird. I have a feeling that like time loops back in on itself and like humanity is just going to keep in a cycle of advancing in technology and then cataclysm and then back in like the dark ages and then we have to go crawl back up to like kind of where we are today, you know? And it's just weird. Kara, do you think do you know at what astral projection is?
Hey, when you're like,
I think it's cool, Carrie.
is this torture?
Okay, while you talk, I'm gonna rip this back. You
No,
say
you need to
something.
put that in. You need to
What?
put that down. Because it's probably giving you these ideas in your head.
Mm-mm. No, not at all. Not at all, Carrie. I'm not saying the fucking Holocaust was completely fake. I'm saying it was exaggerated because because some Jewish people want to push the narrative that they've been victims for almost all of human history. And then if you ever are against like their business practices, let's say, they can use the victim narrative to support that with historical evidence. And it's pretty cut and dry and it's useful, you know? But yeah, phone time.
I'm playing with a napkin because that's better than talking.
I don't know who I'm going to talk to.
What?
I said, I don't know who I'm going to talk to.
Hey, we gotta find a friend. Yeah.
Yeah, for real.
Oh,
Well, what do you want to talk about? Just random dumb bullshit like culture? Like it's, which also is like pushed by, like Hollywood is run, Hollywood is created and run by Jews. The music industry is same. So that's two major parts of our
here.
like
I'll show you something.
loves of culture that are just fabrications. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
Oh, there goes Gary.
where's mine?
It's like you fucking teleported back into Michigan. I actually thought you were on the
Unfortunately,
beach. Are those
I said
shoes?
really good focus. Find Maverick.
Oh, Maverick is in there. I see him.
Yeah.
Wow, he's hidden. He's so good.
Why is that like the focus is really good, weirdly?
What you said? Why is it good?
Yeah, it's like,
It's literally not. What are you talking about?
oh,
Quality
that's
is
weird.
like 1080p max.
Oh, back to the beach.
Yeah, back to the beach. Go back to the beach. Oh, you're in San Francisco. Now you're in under the Aurora Borealis. Oh, now you're a panda. Carrie,
Mm,
do you think creating like fictional characters like Joe and Wolfie, do you think that's beneficial at all in our futures?
yeah,
How?
I think it like helps us like creatively with like long-term creativity and like imagination.
Mhm.
because we like held on to those like characters
Mhm.
for years, and like we kept
Yeah,
the same storyline and like personification of it.
yeah.
So, I
And
mean,
now
it
we're at
wouldn't
the
it didn't
period.
damage wouldn't
What?
damage us in any, wouldn't like damage us in any way.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
would, like, just help us.
Yeah, because I was thinking about that today, and I was like, how could I be like that? Because we were like creative. How could we be like that now? Because now I just feel very dull. So I want to feel more like back then.
Yeah, it's
I don't
probably
know how to
like
recreate. I think the way to recreate that is to make this show funny and to do characters and make do funny things, not talk
this
about how the Jews run everything, which
this
makes me sad. It makes me very sad.
this.
Yeah.
You talk about this.
Wait, this? Yeah. Yeah.
You- This is what I'm kind of think saying. Like, stop making it so serious.
It's
Stop this.
because my whole day I think about things like this, and then I have nobody to talk to, and then the moment I do, then I probably just ramble on about this until it gets out of my system. But then, after about an hour talking about the Jews, we can talk about fun things. It's like weed, Carrie. Take one hit, and then I feel good. Say one Holocaust was fake, and I feel good. And now we can talk about whatever you want. So let's talk about how Israel is paradise and how we should both go there, Carrie.
Also, this always happens. Like, you talk for like an hour, and
Mhm.
then
Yeah,
about your bullshit, and
yeah.
then
We
an
have a
hour
good
later,
time.
and then an hour in, we have like a good time,
No,
kind of.
that's why I planned this, and now this time we're gonna record for a long ass time until we're having a good time and just laughing and not talking about ideologies. So yeah, what's funny, Carrie? What's been going on that's funny?
Um,
When's the most
there was a
recent time you
tornado.
laughed? There was a
There was a
tornado?
yesterday, last night.
How was that?
Well, like it wasn't. I don't know how the tornado looked. I don't know how bad it was, but there was like a good warning and stuff. And Kirsten and I were in the library, and we had to like go down in the basement, but we didn't go to because we were on the third floor. We were supposed to go down to the basement, but we didn't. We stayed on the first floor.
Bro, imagine if the tornado actually hit that building while you guys were on the fucking
Nate, I was like,
third floor.
when we were on the, or it was the fourth
Wait, I gotta
floor,
plug in my computer. Just keep talking.
but we were like, we kept getting these notifications and everything. And I was kind of like freaking out because like, whatever.
How's
Because
it,
we're by a
Gary?
bunch of like, we're by a bunch of like trees and stuff, so they could just like fall through the window or whatever. I don't know. And Kirsten's like, no, well, okay, like she was like taking her time and like all that, and like
That's so fucking funny.
it was like,
Imagining you falling out of the fucking third story window because a tornado actually hits you guys while you guys are like, nah, it's fine. Oh my god, that'd be fun.
oh, I have a topic we can talk about.
Okay, I thought you said I have a taco. I was like, no fucking way, this bitch has a taco.
Um, I
Wow.
need to find a job during the summer, so I was like doing that last night when the tornado hit.
You were applying for a job?
Oh, I was like, look, also what happened. So Kirsten was doing her nursing application thingy. Okay, like on my laptop because her laptop wasn't working or like the server wasn't working for the website. So was using my laptop. But then, and I was like on hers doing like finding jobs and stuff. And like I went to that nursing application website again and to see if it would work or not. And it was working. And I like deleted all of Kirsten's like things she typed in.
It deleted her whole application.
Yeah, so like today she had to like do it all over again. Or, like last night and today.
I remember she was complaining about that on the phone, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And I was like, damn.
And on the walk back to Case from the library, she was so, like she was like quiet and she didn't speak to me at all. And she was like, but she also had her ADHD meds in, so that might
Hmm.
have been it. But
How does that
um,
change her? Does it just make her
I
quiet,
just make sure, yeah, make sure,
focus?
yeah. But
When is your favorite time being around Kirsten, like personality wise?
like whenever she's not on her like ADHD medicine,
Have you told her that?
yeah, I've told her you're a bitch when you're on your
That's
meds.
funny. See, I
And
wish. Oh my God,
she knows it.
that's so funny.
But like yeah, but she was like really quiet on the walk back, and she was like I was walking behind her, and she was like trying to get back really quick, and she was so pissed at me.
Bro, that's how I am. Like, sometimes after the gym, I'll literally be walking as fast as I possibly can, and I look mad, but I'm just like so into walking fast because like sometimes after the gym, you're just so hyped up, you know?
I also feel like I have like a resting bitch face kind of.
Yeah, I've been told I have that.
Well,
But
not you, me.
oh no, people say the same thing about me, but lately I've been trying to smile more because usually I like hold myself back from smiling. No, not like that, not like a fucking crazy person, but like if I'm happy, I'll or if I'm laughing, I would usually in public like hide it. But nowadays I'll just do it in front of people, and it feels much better. And people like look at me, and I'm like, oh, I'm supposed to be smiling. I'm not supposed to be like serious.
And then we like got back to our dorm at like 8, I think, or something like that.
Damn.
And then I went back to my dorm, and then like at 9:30, because I was like trying to like work up the courage to do it, I like texted her being like, I'm sorry I messed up your application.
Oh,
So I was
you
like
did
kind
it?
of
I thought it was just
yeah,
random.
no, because I was no, because I like it was by accident because I didn't know that I would do that. And I was like
Um,
kind of like trying to cry about it because I felt so guilty about it.
oh, that
She
sucks.
she spent like 2 hours because she had to put in like every single award like volunteer thing
Jesus.
and like, clinical she ever did and like staff work.
Yeah, I
And
remember she was saying she was so fucking busy, and then she was like, the last thing she mentioned was like, oh, and I have to do the application, and then you just made her do it again. It's
yeah,
crazy.
so
That's
like
funny.
and she spent like 2 hours on it and like I just felt
Damn.
so guilty from
Oh, at least she finished
like
it.
it's fine. But yeah, she like finished it today with their
Hmm.
essays and stuff. So and like she already has the spot, so like they just like it was just a formality thing she had to do it for.
That's good. Yeah,
And oh, I'm taking psychology for fun next year
that'll be fun. We'll have
with
a lot to
Kirsten.
talk about. Oh, with Kirsten?
With
Oh,
Kirsten.
shit. She's gonna be like,
If I needed, because I had like 9 credits and I needed 12 to be a full-time student, so I just like did psychology.
Carrie, do you think when Kirsten's very focused and like walking fast like that, do you think she's like at the hill, like talking to the boys, chatting it up? They're like,
Yeah.
go, Kirsten, go, go, Kirsten, walk faster.
Or like I feel like when you're doing work and you have music in,
Yeah.
it's like better to like just do it without music and just be quiet and just like do it. But
Wait. Wait, what?
you don't feel like that.
I just didn't hear what you
But
said.
okay, when you're trying to do like homework and you have music in and you can't really focus, but then you do it like without music and
Oh,
like you
yeah.
focus. I feel like that's what it is with like Kirsten and her ADHD. That like it just like cuts all of that.
Yeah, I wonder, like, I've
I
always
think
wanted
'cause
to
I'm pretty
talk to
sure
Kirsten very deeply about like her metacognition, like how she thinks, you know?
I'm pretty sure we all have like ADD or ADHD.
Yeah, I have a feeling that it's not just our family. I think it's all of like our generation kind
Oh
of
yeah,
has it
yeah, sure.
because of the technology just constantly around us.
Yeah. Or like our attention spans are shot.
Yeah.
But anyway. But yeah, also, did you know at Hobby Lobby they don't use barcodes
Really?
when you
Why?
scan stuff? It's because it's like they think it's like the mask of something or what it was. It was because I forget what it's called exactly, but because I was like thinking of applying there, but you have to like memorize all of like the item numbers or something like that to like
Well, I
type it in.
mean, well, yeah.
So
That's weird.
so yeah, and I was gonna apply to it, but now I'm like,
Hmm.
it's very weird, very weird thing I did. But
Carrie, did you hear about
well,
the fucking what they found under the pyramids? You said we live in completely different worlds, Carrie. Genuinely. There are okay, imagine the pyramids
this is your
underground.
last like topic like this.
Okay, but Perfect.
So
Underground the
maybe that's
pyramids, okay? 2 kilometers. There are like 8 pillars, and then under that, two massive fucking like rectangular prisms, like boxes. And just imagine that, like the pyramids, nobody knows who built them. And we just found that they're kilometers bigger than we previously thought. That's been blowing my mind since I heard about that, I think last week. But what does that make you think? Like, imagine the pyramids. It's hard if you haven't seen the scans because it's like LiDAR scans that they did of the pyramids. And they've been doing it for the past like 3 years. And they finally have conclusive data, apparently. I haven't actually looked at the study, but they finally have images that look like there's huge mega structures under the fucking pyramids of Giza. What does that make you think about, Carrie? Nothing? That
um,
doesn't seem cool to you?
I think we should have never like have like discovered the tombs at all or like when it or like opened anything.
Well, how would they know what it was if they never like went in there? Also, how do you know they're tombs? That's what
Well,
conventional archaeology says. But think about these, how fucking big, like the pyramid is up here and the megastructures underground, like fucking all the way down, you know? So I don't think they're tombs. They have something to do with energy, I think. Because Nikola Tesla, had a theory that the pyramids harnessed energy from the ether, which was like the quantum foam that makes up all the matter. It's movement. Movement is energy. Everything is moving constantly, like very small movements, and that makes pretty much infinite energy. And that's like the most well kept secret of the past over like almost 150 years, you know? Because if everybody had access to that energy, it would be free. You wouldn't have to pay for energy like you do nowadays. And trillion-dollar empires would crumble if every like people all over the world found out about how to actually harness that energy. It's called 0 point energy. So like everything is built on that, on the idea that nobody has given public people, like everyday people, access to that, and that's held back billions of people all across the world, you know. And at any point, people who hold those patents, who are billionaires or trillionaires, like who are the people who like paid for that research and development of those systems secretly, they could just give it out to the world, and while they would lose all that money, the money is like fake, it's not real. So I don't think it would, I think morally it would be better for them to do that. But they're probably like demonically not doing that, you know, because it would liberate everybody from being tied to the monetary system that we all live under. Because if you had free energy, you wouldn't have to pay for it, and you could just generate your own whatever amount of energy you needed on your own. Yeah, I definitely need a friend, Kara. I need somebody to talk to because this is not it. This is worse than just thinking about this alone. Seeing somebody not interested, like at least I'm thinking about to myself that I'm interested in it. You know?
what I was thinking during that was you know the movie the Ten Commandments that Mom always has watched.
Yeah.
Do you know those are a remake
Really,
by the same guy too?
bro? Did you know that they might have found the
And
fucking Ark of the Covenant and it's guarded by interdimensional beings in Ethiopia? Swear to,
you know,
it's
I
fucking
think
crazy.
it's Babylon with the blue like walls and stuff.
Babylon. Wait, what? Babylon was the. I thought that was the tower, or was it a
What was the
different
one
thing?
with the blue wall? There was one like
Wait,
symbolized it's like blue walls, like come and it was like they would surround.
Epstein Island?
Oh,
That had blue walls.
there was like a civilization with like blue walls or something like that.
Was it Atlantis?
No,
Fuck.
but I just thought that was interesting. Like or like something that
You
I
don't even know
learned.
the. A civilization made a blue wall at one point in human history.
No, it was like they're like I think it's Babylon. Like,
Babylon, really?
maybe
But why
and
would they
then
make the walls blue?
because why not? Because they probably had like pigments like um I'm Googling it. Hold on.
Okay, Jesus fucking Christ, Curry, this is worse
Oh,
than
what is
emergency
it?
intercom.
It is. It's the one with the blue.
Literally, you look like I'm on the beach. I like how this is fired back on you multiple times. You have to fucking take the shit off.
Okay. See like the blue?
Oh, what the fuck? I've
That's
never
Babel.
seen that.
That's
Wow.
Babel. See, I know things.
Wait, so what does it have to do with anything? Like,
I
why?
just think that it was like cool, like in that time because there's like 1894 BCE.
Hmm.
I just thought that it was cool that they could like. I'll have to show you something else.
Wait, you thought it was cool they could fucking make a wall blue? And I
No,
told
no,
you that they made 2 kilometer fucking pyramids and they bare.
no,
Jesus
no, like
Christ.
this, no, like the civilization, like itself, like what with like what they could like build.
Again, did you hear
Also,
what I said 30 seconds ago, Carrie?
no,
Two
no, that's why.
kilometers underneath the goddamn pyramids, there's mega structures. It's fucking
Yes,
insane.
yes,
And
I
you're
know. That's
talking
why.
about a wall, a blue wall. Like, I don't understand the
No,
correlation.
that's why. That's why. Like that brought up that you're what you're talking about brought up that in my head. That like,
Wow. Like, they
and I
painted
just
a
learned
wall.
about, and I just learned about the Roman Empire recently.
Wait,
Like
the
that
what? With
whole
the
thing
what
stuff.
empire?
Roman Empire.
The Berlin Empire?
Oh, Roman Empire.
Oh, oh. Wait, do you know about, no, no, keep talking about the Roman Empire.
I just learned that like it was actually the Brittany Broski podcast.
I was thinking about calling you broski when I, like, entered this. Well, I was walking around outside. I was like, oh, when I see Kara, I'm gonna be like, yo, what's up, broski? And then you're gonna be like, oh, Brittany broski. And then I was like, nah. And I didn't do that. Anyway, so what did she tell you?
It was like just like telling me what the Roman Empire was, that like it controlled like a lot.
Okay, so did you not know that or what?
I just didn't know how like big it was.
How big did you think it was?
Just like Italy or something like that. I don't
You thought the Roman Empire was only in Italy. That's
know.
interesting. And they're pretty much
But
Mediterranean.
then
They conquered it.
I also knew that it was like in Egypt too, with like Cleopatra and like
Alexander
Alexander.
the Great. Yeah, yeah,
So,
and yeah. Um. Yet, what about ancient history do you like? What part of history do you like the most? Like, what intrigues you the most?
um, just like with like Roman Empire stuff, or just like in general.
You know, all of recorded human history. What intrigues you the most?
Um, just like the start point and like the ending point.
Start
Like
point and
how they,
end point.
no, like for example, like World War II, like how they
Oh,
started World War II and then how it like ended, or I don't know, just like little like they, I don't know.
so fucking funny.
I don't
Your
know, just
favorite
like
thing about history is that they start and end things. Jesus Christ.
no, I like I don't know.
I
What
mean,
is
no,
your
that's an
favorite?
answer.
What do you like about history?
My favorite thing about history is the history that, like, we don't know. Like, thinking about what we don't know, because most of it is probably unknown, you know?
Yep.
Most of it is unwritten and it's just orally passed tradition.
I was like trying to put myself in like the footsteps of how people lived
Hmm. And then you
back then.
realize that it's pretty much just the same thing you're doing now, but different technology.
Yeah.
And then that always makes me think, wow, I'm really just living the human experience, just like a Roman would. Because you imagine that you're so different from people back then, but really not. If you were them back then, you would just feel like yourself, but you would be like, oh, I'm just fucking Carrie in the Roman Empire instead of Carrie in the American Empire, you know? Just different strokes, different folks. And yeah, like, have you ever had a memory of a past life or like a memory that was not in your own body?
No, but Emily, I keep forgetting to do this, but Emily, a few months back, she sent me this video of the guy like instructing you on how to like think back to your past life. And I
Mm,
think Emily said she was like a wife of a soldier from like World War One or something.
mhm. Yeah, yeah. She looks like she would be one, honestly. A British soldier's wife. Yeah.
Dopey was probably like in a rock band or something in the
I was gonna
70s.
say Saddam Hussein.
That too.
Yeah. I wonder what Alan's doing. He was gonna come up and then he
You
didn't.
because he's like depressed and wants
Yeah,
to
but I
kill
don't know
himself.
why he won't just drive up here and hang out.
Because he's depressed and he doesn't want to go out. And
Uh,
you gotta like go to him somehow.
I
Or,
literally cannot.
yeah.
But I'll get a car eventually. And then I will. But it's gonna take a few months.
Like
I need to
mom
get a
was saying,
goddamn job so I can save up money.
are you like even looking?
Yeah, I applied to like three Starbucks. One of them rejected me. I tried to apply to Walmart, and for some reason, literally every fucking time. Like, I can't log into my fucking account, which has my like former applications on it, and I can't use my information because I already have an account. So it's like I can't even fucking apply to Walmart because I fucking can't get into the Walmart account. You know, it's catch 22. I fucking hate technology sometimes because I could just write down my resume on a piece of paper and hand it to the manager over there, and that is how things used to work. And
Actually, I saw a TikTok a couple days ago that it was like this business manager person or like
mhm.
just somebody working in a business and like they were saying that they hate when people like give them their resumes like in paper. I was just like,
No, because
you know,
there's everybody is like the equivalent of like a black male lady is like that ain't my job. I ain't doing that shit. It's
like
like if something is slightly outside of your job requirements, people immediately like take their responsibility away from themselves. Like nobody goes out of their way to help people. You know what I'm saying? And that's why all this service nowadays is so fucking garbage because nobody actually likes their jobs really. You know?
like everything like at McDonald's they have like the screen things instead of
Hmm. Yeah.
or at the movie theater.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like the layout, but because they renovated the movie theater, um, like during like last school year, and it's just so stupid. Like, the layout and everything is just so stupid now.
Hmm. And I guarantee everything changing like that is purely just profit motive because it's cost less,
Yeah,
slightly less to do that, you
then
know?
you don't have to pay as much people
Yeah,
because
exactly. Yeah. And it's just, it also, it eases the friction for like the consumer to get into the consuming, you know? Like, usually you'd have to overcome like social anxiety to talk to a person
yeah.
to do interact with
But
some company.
now it's like
Nowadays, it's just online.
for now it's like creating more social anxiety because you're interacting with less people.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. It used to be a convenience. Now it's just the downside. It makes it worse. There was this Kurt Vonnegut quote. He was talking about how his wife bought him like 100 envelopes because he liked writing letters to people. And he was like, "Oh, you shouldn't have done that because I enjoy having to walk to the post office to get every single envelope because that entire walk I'll see a baby smile. I'll listen to a bird. I'll see a tree. I'll see the sun. There's so many things that happen when you have to go about your day to go do things that you want to do. And that little convenience that you might think is convenient takes away from like so many experiences you would have had you not gone the convenient route. And I think that's pretty much sums up like technological problems nowadays.
Mhm.
Nowadays.
I would, I would, I would love to go back in time and like go back to when like it was just like paper stuff and not like this technology.
Yeah, but I was learning about that today.
Just to
Um,
see what, like in the 50s or something, and
yeah,
just
but
see what.
yeah, even like I think the best would be to go before the Federal Reserve was created because they basically like secretly created these banknotes that everybody had to use. Before that, there were literally 30,000 currencies circulating around the US. Like it was pretty much like crypto how it is nowadays. But back then, because it was all these different banks popping up and lending each other money, and they were all like small, they weren't like really big institutions like they are nowadays.
Mhm.
And they before it was all tied to gold, and you would put your gold in the bank and you would get notes to use for your reserved gold that's in the bank. And nowadays, people see those reserve notes as the money itself, not like the gold. Gold was the money. And now, since we don't have the fiat currency of that we used to have, it's just paper, just useless, like inflatable, hyperinflatable money. It's horrible.
Yeah.
And that's why we're in this stage of just horrible like inflation and economic pressure on the lower and middle class, because they used to have accumulated a bunch of power over a long time by slowly progressing in society, and now over the past 100 years it's been stripped slowly, and we're like seeing it with our eyes. People are like talking about it.
Yeah.
I wonder if
But
anything will change, or if things will just keep getting worse, or if things will just get better at some point.
I think we'll just like hit a breaking point one of these days, and then I don't know. Also remember when you were like younger during your nerd phase or whatever, and
Just
like
being Karoo, just being myself.
you also
Yeah.
like into Marvel, I think, right?
Yeah, and that was also what I found out. That was fucking propaganda, CIA propaganda. That was supposed to make me no, Carrie. Like you okay. You think I'm fucking you. I don't know what you think, but I'm just gonna say this. That is supposed to say that this entity is some kind of is better than a normal human, and the government is like sanctioning their actions. You can literally put the CIA in the position of any superhero in those Marvel films. Because remember, they had that whole plot about like Hydra and the Nazis? That is all fucking real. It's called Operation Paperclip. When we fucking, when the US and the USSR raced to see who could get the most Nazi scientists over their border so then they could race and do the space wars and race to the moon, which also might have been faked. The moon landing might have been faked, Gary.
I think
Which
Stanley
which
Kubrick
would
did something.
I what might have I this one guy Bert Sybil or something, I watched a Rogan interview. He was talking about how first of all the pictures, a lot of it were doctored, which I knew about before, but I didn't know it. He didn't like one of them was have you ever seen that picture of the Earth? It's like this small and it's like surrounded by black space.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I've seen it too. And I always thought that was real. And then I saw the video of that. And it's just like a window, like a spacecraft window, like their one of their windows, blacked out. So then there's a hole in the middle. And then they're just like right by Earth. And it's made to look like Earth is really far away, but it's just like a taped up like opening. So then it looks like Earth is far away in the distance, but it's actually just them covering up all that light to make it look like the planet. It's hard to explain without having seen it, but I was like, what the fuck? And then I learned about the Van Allen radiation belts, and apparently, like, it's deadly belts of radiation from the sun that surround the Earth that humans cannot be in without, like, dying. And then people are like, how they get the astronauts to the moon, then? How do they get them through that? And I forgot what NASA said, but I think they said it was this video of Project Orion talking about it was a 2024 moon mission, Project Orion, talking about trying to get through the Van Allen radiation belts and how dangerous they were. This is like 60 years after we already went to the moon, and they're saying how dangerous it is to go. So it wasn't like lining up. It was so weird. And also like the shadows on the moon and photos are different angles when the sun should be casting shadows parallel with each other, instead of like a rock shadows this way and your shadows this way. Never happens unless it's electrical lighting like that one. But yeah, so much of like of what culture is and what history is all a narrative pushed to make you like a good American worker, and to keep you kind of quiet and thinking that you're on a good path. You're in America. You got a job. You're doing good. But that's not like a good place to be, you know, being oppressed and not thinking about it or not knowing it. Like, why would a company make movies for little kids about the fucking US government and Nazis and shit, you know? And why would they set that all in modern times with like some people who are supposed to be like real government people and then some people who are supposed to just be fictional people in this fictional universe where they interact with like intergalactic like federations, which some whistleblowers have said we do that. Like I heard a whistleblower say that Obama was interacting with the Galactic Federation of Tall Whites, like shit like that, crazy shit. Yeah, but why don't you think the movies are propaganda? It literally is propaganda, especially if it's involving the U.S. military.
I just brought up a simple memory of, I just remembered that you were like the bandits. I didn't expect like all of this
Yeah, because it's
stupid.
opened my eyes to like how much that wasn't just a simple like, oh, that was just a cool some cool movies. That was supposed to push me in a direction to like want to fight for America or just to be like a real like cold-blooded patriot, you know? Just propaganda, American propaganda. And it's not just like harmless kids movies. And like I wouldn't want my kid watching that kind of stuff, you know? It's not good.
You're not gonna let your kids like watch Marvel or whatever.
I think most of media is just like brainwashing to get you kind of like to think certain things, not outright, but like subconsciously think certain things about yourself. Like the fact that kids will look up to superheroes and not to humans. You know what I'm saying? Like, why do they have to make some kind of entity that's not real, that's like better, superhuman, you know? Why can't kids look up to real people in their communities, you know? That would be actually beneficial for communities all across the country, you know? But nowadays, kids have been slowly brainwashed to kind of looking up to false idols, which is what the Bible talks about. And America is in and of itself a false idol. Like this American dream is not supposed to be that. You know, you're supposed to just be a human living on a planet, living with the earth, living with nature. You're not supposed to have an American dream. You're supposed to have just a dream. You're supposed to have a dream of life. You know, and all of that. Just saying you have an American dream. That's just like, damn, I've been propagandized, and all those little things that I just like notice now. It's like interesting to notice them, and also they're abstractions. They're not real. Like guys who go on the space station, they say they'll come down and just be have like a completely different outlook on their life because they've seen in space, looking down on the earth, that they can't see any borders. They just see land and they just see the earth and people living on it. And it's like there's really no borders. That's all in our minds. We all live like that and we agree with that every single day, but it is ultimately not true. I was trying to tell this to my class, my American government class,
Oh,
like we're not all divided, and they were like laughing at me, kind of. I was like, Jesus Christ, because I was not as articulate. I was just like, yeah, I think we're propagandized to think we're all like different from each other. And then they argued the rest of the class how they're different from each other, and I was like, Jesus fucking Christ, these kids. Like they were arguing about like Donald Trump, and I was like, oh my God, literally fucking just an asset to get people arguing instead of talking about real things that they can do to help each other in their communities. I need to learn how to make friends, Gary.
yeah. Is
Yeah.
there like a conspiracy theory club or whatever?
No, even the word conspiracy theory was made after the Kennedy assassination to get people to think that it was a conspiracy theory that the CIA killed him and that Israel killed him. Like the the fact that you're saying I should be with conspiracy theorists, like jokingly, is actually perpetuating like the false idea that Oh, Jesus Christ, I'm literally being silenced by a Jew. It's horrible. I thought my family would trust me, not this Jew.
I've been listening to this for like over an hour now. So
hmm I've been listening it to, I've been listening to it for weeks and weeks and months in my head, repeating over and over again. So
why don't you write
you're
a book?
lucky you've only like it's. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what I would write about. It doesn't seem like one topic. It seems like everything is just connected, which is what Buddhism taught me. Everything
Make
is all
it
one.
and make it one topic.
I don't know what I would call it.
Well, that's like the least of your worries. I
I
feel
don't
like
know where I would start talking, like what I would say.
make a list of like topics you'd want to cover.
hmm Yeah. What do you think about Carrie?
Thinking my bangs have gotten really long.
No, like day to day. Like, what have you been thinking about all day? Your bangs?
Um, because I cut them in December around like here.
hmm
They've grown like an inch, a bit more than an inch.
Yeah, they grew pretty fast. Are you gonna cut them again?
No. I've been thinking about the show Yellow Jackets.
I've heard about it. What about it?
Uh, I've just been watching that because it's a new season's been coming out. That's just been on my mind.
Tell me about that propaganda, Carrie.
Oh my God.
I have a feeling that it's some sort of propaganda. Tell me about it, and we'll find out what it's trying to push you towards.
So it's
Why'd you
about
say
this
it's an Israeli?
no, it's about this girls soccer team and their plane crashes in the wilderness. It's like in the 90s, set in the 90s, and they're just like trying to survive. And then it cuts to them in the future in like the after effects of the
What's
crash and
Why do you
everything.
keep watching it? What's interesting about it?
Because it's an interesting show and the characters are interesting and I like
Well,
their
saying they're interesting is
dynamic.
not helping. You got to
I like
describe
their
why.
I like their I like their dynamics between each other,
Again,
their
not helping.
tension, their tension and everything, and they're all
Tension,
they're
another
not
word.
they're not all like good or bad people. They're like a mix. Like you do good things and bad things, and
They have gray morals.
it's like you hate this one character for what she did, but you understand like where she's coming from, like why she would do this.
hmm That's cool. At least the show isn't kind of like pushing strict morals. At least it's more like an open ended. Sounds interesting.
And there's also like cannibalism in it.
When's the last time your mind was like stimulated and you were like, wow, I'm like thinking? Or have you been like dull in the past like couple weeks?
Probably since like the summer,
Jesus Christ, I'd kill myself. Harry,
since
I tried to
like
like be, this is why I'm into this like Jewish cabal idea because it makes me think all the time. And I think if I was just like dulled out all the time, I'd just kill myself because I hate when my brain is not stimulated like that, you know?
like the show stimulates my
As the
brain.
show does. I thought you were saying the show was like boring and like
No,
not
no,
really
it's
like
I like the show.
stimulating.
It's like one of my favorite shows.
And it is like thought provoking, or is it kind of
Yeah.
like two dimensional?
No, no.
Okay, that's good. That's cool.
And like you're trying to think of what could like happen next and but like I don't but like creatively like stimulating, like I haven't felt that since like the summer when I was writing every day.
How do you not just consider suicide every day, Carrie?
I do, that's the thing.
Oh, really? I thought I was alone.
No.
It's nice to know
But
there's another one out there.
you're in Florida. I'm in Michigan where
Yeah,
it's
that's why
cold every day. So I
it's
mean,
even more confusing. I'm in paradise and I still feel this bad, Carrie.
yeah. Like if I was in Florida, I'd like mm, not feel like
Mhm.
um,
Yeah,
like I
that
just like
happens for the first like 3 months, and then you start feeling bad again, and you're like, God damn it, this was not forever feeling
like
good.
when I was over the summer, I never felt anything
Well, I
like
mean,
that.
I like live here now until I pretty much move somewhere else. So like,
Also, you're in like Orlando.
yeah,
I'm like thinking about Stewart.
true. Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
That's paradise. Stewart.
Mhm. Yeah, like a mile away from the beach. Oh my God.
And like I would never get like tired of the town. Either like here, I'm like sick of easily and saying like,
Well, actually, you know what? I've thought about this because mom was like, Corey, you hated that. You hated being a steward. What are you talking about? And I was like, nah. And my theory is that I'm going to hate my life and only love it when I'm reminiscing, you know? Unless I change something about how I'm living. But
well,
so
like,
far, I only
oh,
love my life when I reminisce.
like what happened like, cause last year of the school year, like I missed Florida a lot, and I was like reminiscing about that. And then over the summer, I was like, okay, you're in Florida, you need to enjoy it while it lasts. So I had like a good summer, and I wasn't like reminiscing, or I was didn't like feel bad, or
You're in the moment.
yeah.
Yeah. That's how I felt. I felt like I was in the moment for January, February, March. And now I'm falling off, Gary. I'm getting back to horribly
Well,
feeling.
you just gotta like walk around and find like new places to explore,
Yeah, because I've been
do
walking
new
around the same places
things,
for months.
do new things, and
I need to find like a comedy club that I can learn how to do stand up. Because if I
yeah.
can learn how to do that, I will be much happier. Because I
Then
need
why
some
don't you go
fucking.
find a comedy club? Why
Yeah,
don't you work at one?
I know. I should just look that shit up after this.
Literally, just look up Orlando, Florida, a comedy
Hmm.
club.
Yeah.
Spot
This
them.
one guy, Cam Patterson, who's kind of blowing up, he's from Orlando. And he
Or
started
Drew
here.
Gooden. He's in Orlando.
Shit, really? Bro,
Do you
I
not
should
remember?
meet him. Yeah,
Do you not remember?
damn.
He just uploaded a YouTube video about SNL.
Bro, I should watch him and try to find out where he lives.
Yeah.
That would be fun. That would be something interesting for
Oh,
me to
just
do.
like reach out to him.
Yeah, I could be like, yo, I need a job. Also, I need a friend.
It's like I'm sure he's like not because he's like a YouTuber. It's like an easy job this time. So I mean,
Yeah, piece of cake.
probably just like
Definitely not
email
doing
him.
shit.
You
Yeah.
probably just email him and be like and say like your because he's like I like it like your comedy like inspired me when I was
Oh,
younger.
I doubt it. Now, with the
You used
path
to
I'm
watch him
going,
when you used to watch him when you were younger.
no, I'm saying the comedic path I'm on now, I think completely diverges from
But
him.
that's it like ignited it
Oh
like
yeah, yeah,
initially.
yeah. Yeah. Not him specifically. I forgot. Would
It
always
was
love to have a better memory of my childhood, so I could have thoughts like that, like what started my interest in like music or comedy or history or anything like that. I have no fucking idea. I'll just make shit up because I don't know. I just know like what interests me now and what fuels
like
me
I
now.
kind of recently like pieced together what how like I got into film.
Yeah, but
It
wasn't
was
that in
mainly
2020 and not like as a small
no,
child?
but also like growing or like in tranquility, like with dad watching movies or specifically with like the movie The Curious Case of Benjamin Button.
Really,
You know,
that one?
because every time they would watch, like mom and dad would watch I would always like catch them in the same exact scene. And
That's
this
a
happened 4 times.
synchronicity. That's a
And
synchronicity,
this,
Carrie.
and this happened like 4 times.
That's crazy.
And then in like 2020 during quarantine, I was like, okay, I'm just gonna watch this movie because like I always kept seeing it. And then I watched it and then like that what kind of unraveled everything. And then with dad watching Once Upon a Time in Hollywood all the time too. I remember you watched that like a few times during quarantine because it was on a lot. So that also.
I feel like your like art thing from childhood probably stems more like drawing and painting and shit, right?
I think it's also just like because I was very like a very like observant person, and I think just
Yeah,
like growing
fair.
up observing people and like just listening that also worked.
Yeah. I was very like, I think in the moment so much that I didn't even know I was like living a human life. I was just like experiencing, and then at some point, I was like, holy shit, I'm like human. I'm like living my life. These choices matter. Like what I'm doing actually like Because I always it felt like I was just like water, just like flowing, not even thinking about where I was going, you know. And then now I kind of think about all my actions and like, will this turn me in the direction that I want to go or not? And like, much different perspective than I used to have when I was a kid. But I kind of try to grasp that more, like just kind of whatever I think I kind of want to do right now, just go for it, and then just either find out that was a mistake or have that as the foundation for another thing in the future. You know, that's how I gotta like kind of get back into it, like
And
doing
then
things more.
like also what I like about history
Hmm.
or like through movies, like you can see like kind of what like history would have been like.
Yeah,
Really.
from like the propaganda perspective, you know, which is at least something, you know, like because you can't actually time travel back there and see
Like
it.
if you're reading a book about World War II versus watching a movie about it and actually like visualize the movie better than
Actually, I disagree because I think the movie will just like put in images of what they either they think war looks like or feels like, or what they want you to think war feels like and looks like. But then when you, with your imagination, with reading books, you get a full book perspective of that thing, that event, and also you get your imagination of it, which I have a feeling is more resembles what it would be like in real life rather than a fictional depiction because you're a human actually thinking about it as if that human who experienced it was thinking about it, you know, like that's closer in relation than watching like actors act it out in a fake way that's completely scripted, you know, and life isn't scripted. So I feel like a book and your imagination is closer to the truth than movies.
you know what it's also because you know the movie All Quiet on the Western Front
Hmm.
because it was like initially a book about like a true story but like all that but and there's also like three movie adaptations. There's
Hmm.
one, it was like 1930, 1970 something, and then 2022. So it'd be cool to see like how different each one is with like
Yeah.
that time period and what's going on
Yeah. Do you ever
with
think that?
censorship and everything. Like
Do you ever think that we're like
filmmaking.
stuck in the past? Because like we're talking about something that happened like over 100 years ago,
Yeah.
and we're like
Yeah.
analyzing it.
Or even like with like fashion or trends or whatever, we're always like looking.
And music too. People always go back, like they sample stuff that already was made. Not many people are just like really creating new like genres, you know. And I don't know how possible it is to do that. And I don't know how much of that was actually just created. Like the hippie movement was created by the psychedelic drug movement, which was created by LSD's popularization in like academia research in the 50s and 60s. Which, Carrie, did you know that fucking Nazis made LSD in 1943? They like synthesized it for the first time. The goddamn Nazis, which is I think where MK Ultra started, like the mind control experiments, because they tried to use LSD originally as a like a truth serum drug to try to get in interrogations to get people to just tell the truth. But LSD just makes you trip balls and make things up if you're asked questions, you know? So then they eventually realized, oh, that's not the most helpful thing. Now they use something else called like sodium something, sodium benzol or something like that. And apparently that's like a truth serum. It makes you very open to like telling the truth or whatever. But yeah, it's crazy how MK Ultra and like mind control experiments happening in the U.S. in the past 100 years started from the Nazis and from Unit 731 in Japan and just from all over, just like fucking torture experiments on like POWs and just like innocent people. It's horrible.
Yep. Um, what were we talking about?
I was talking about how music, I was talking about how music genres are like coming out nowadays. It seems like it's like stale. But then I was thinking like maybe that's it actually was always stale, and like the invention of new music genres were just like a fabrication to make everybody think like, oh shit, new shit's happening, you know, culture's moving, but it was actually just the CIA pushing psychoactive drugs on communities to stop the anti-war movement, which worked because we've been fighting wars ever since. Do you know about um, Jack Parsons, the father of rocketry in America?
No.
He was like this magic occultist guy who was like into creating rockets, I think for NASA. And I think him and this guy called Aleister Crowley, who was also a big occult member, I think they would like jerk off with each other in the desert and look at each other in the eyes, and that was somehow supposed to like be a spiritual connection or some shit. I should look more into that kind of shit because it's crazy how much our modern technology has been created by like complete like weird people, and you don't even know about their history because it's all like not really helpful for controlling our population. If like we find out the guy who started like guy who innovated at NASA and allowed us to put all these rockets into space was like this weird freak occultist guy, you know? People don't like meshing like science and like esoteric shit together, but I feel like it's just coming together and all the time, you know? I think the breaking point you were talking about is when science will like learn what Buddha was saying, that consciousness is the fundamental and awareness is the fundamental of reality, you know? And then on top of that is all matter, you know? Because or not consciousness, science is slowly going towards that and accepting like Buddhist ideals of metaphysics. And I feel like once they do, then it'll be a moment that we can actually like change. But so far, we're still like talking about nuclear energy and shit. Kerry, do you think you need religion to like live a life, or do you think you can be secular and live a full life?
I think you need, I don't think you need religion. I like,
Why not? Like, what does that feel like to you? Like that you don't need it?
because I don't like, because you don't need to be like, praying to something or, whatever, like following a guide or like, I don't know.
If there was a God to pray to and you weren't praying to it, would you feel like you were missing out on something that you could have been doing your whole life? Would you be like, I don't really give a fuck, even if it is all true and I'm like the wrong one? Or is it because you think you're right that you're
Well, I
like
mean,
assuming that it's all
I'm,
like
if I'm
fate?
not, if I'm
Mm-hmm.
not doing it and like life
Mm-hmm.
is going good for me, then like, I don't really
Mm-hmm.
care.
Do you ever think that like if you introduce it into your life, that it would change it or make it better or worse? Or do you feel
I think
neutral?
I think it would like change it, but I don't think it would be for like for better, for worse, or anything.
How would religion change your life, but not for better and not for worse? But how would it change it?
It would just like be like another thing, to just like believe in or definitely trust in or faith in.
That's a Western ideal of religion, actually, because Eastern ideals of religion will kind of say that you shouldn't take it at face value what they say. You should experience it for yourself and see what you experience, and that's how you find like what is the truth in your life. You know, And that's why I like went towards like Buddhism because whenever I would hear yogis and stuff like talk about the nature of reality, and then in my day to day life, I would see everything they were talking about and the experiences they would talk about. And be like, oh, that's what I experienced too. Like that's what that is. That's what that is, and it all like makes connections in my mind. And now I have more of like an understanding of what I think the world is. And in the past, I had much less of an organizational understanding. But it's like feels like your personal connection to like the entire universe. That's what religion feels like to me. And I feel like if you just shut away religion because of it's taboo because it's feels like fake or like horror shit. It's like think about that. Like, is your relationship to the entire universe as just a person, is that fake and horseshit, or do you actually live in a universe and you are relating to it, which you are, and that's what I experience at least. So I don't see religion as like a belief system. That's what the West sees it as. In the East is like philosophy, you know?
Yeah, that's I don't believe it isn't it like a Western thing at all.
Yeah, and that's also very cool because
I was
when
just thinking of like the normal like average person. Like,
mhm, when I was talking about you, like what do you think like for you? Do you
um,
think do you think that you are the normal average person?
you
Do you think you're how do you think you're different than the normal average person?
well, because like um, I don't know. I just feel like I'm just different from other people. I don't know.
Do you feel
Or more like I'm more quiet than the average person. Like I don't talk as much, or
really?
I'm shorter than the average person.
Yeah, I would agree with you on that one. But the
So
quiet one, really? Because it feels like to me, most people are quiet like us, and it's like the minority of people who are like talkative and like outgoing.
I think it's the opposite. Well,
Really?
maybe like nowadays it's like changing, but I think
Mm.
just like
Yeah,
normally,
I would agree with you. I think without like social media and technology all the time, like being on your phone all the time, it would be like most extroverts. But nowadays, it feels probably like most introverts because like I'm always on my phone and everybody around me is like always like walking around with their phone too. It's probably just what it feels like. Yeah. How's the tea?
it's fine. I'm like at the end of it, like two sips left, so it's very like
Does it have caffeine in it?
lemony. I don't know,
That's crazy.
probably like a little bit, but
And you're still just gonna go right to bed.
well, everything has caffeine in it basically, except for like water. Just can't really.
Life water. Gee,
That's pink. Why
I
is it
put flavoring in it, but there's no
that?
caffeine in that. It's just electrolytes, so I get some sodium. Because apparently your like brain runs on salt water, and if you're not drinking water with like some salt in it, you're like missing out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you can like drink too much water, and the solution to that is just start adding a little bit of salt to some of your water, and apparently that just makes you much better hydrated because we're like batteries or some shit, and the electrons in that salt fucking flow through us. It makes us like run better or some shit. Makes me feel better too when I add some salt to my water.
Wonder how like that would be in like the salt water ocean.
I've drank salt water before, like
Yeah.
at
Never-
that one beach we used to go to,
yeah.
that one in like Jupiter, Web du Bois Beach, that black guy's beach. They named that shitty ass beach after the black man. They could have named like a beautiful beach
I
after
thought
him.
it was like a woman's name.
No, it was like W.E.B. Du Bois. He was like a famous black author or some shit. But yeah, They should have given him a better beach to be named after, because that one literally
My
was
friend was
filled with
like
a
drowned at
sandbar.
it. Remember I almost drowned at that beach.
Really? Wow.
Because like there's that current that would like go out to the intercoastal.
You almost got all the way over there.
Well, because I was on a boogie board thing and I was like being like washed out to
Damn.
over there.
Wow.
That's terrifying. Because I was like 8.
Do you have any memories when you were a kid of like core fear memories that made you like scared of something for the rest of your life?
That was one of them.
Really? That made you
Um,
scared of like high waters or something?
or just like what like could have happened if like I didn't. Because I think Kirsten was the one who like helped me.
Carrie, do you believe in the multiverse? Like, do you think there's a universe where you actually flushed out to sea that day?
Yeah,
Really? You actually believe in like the physical multiverse?
yeah.
Wow, that's surprising. Do you think it is just big events, or do you think it's every event that happens, like everything?
I think it's just like multiple like lifelines.
But how often do you think they split? Like, do you think
Um,
like is there one where you just did your entire life the exact same, but like you put your like phone down over here instead of over there? Like,
no, I don't think it's like that. I think it's just like like medium stuff.
how would you classify medium things? Like, what would you classify as a
Um,
changing?
but like I wouldn't say like own. I wouldn't like just kind of do it for only like big events. I would do it for
You think you have agency in when the universe splits into like multiple possibilities?
like because it's my choice on whether or not I do something or whatever.
So walk me through that. You just said when it's a wait, wait. So when you're about to make a decision, you will like think about the ramifications in both like universes.
I just think about like, okay, if I do this, this is what's gonna happen. If I do the other thing, this is what's gonna happen.
Okay.
So,
But
so like, and then if I like do something and then I regret not doing the other thing, I like think about, oh, in another universe, though, I chose the other thing and
how does that make you feel?
like a bit more at peace with it or something. Or I don't know.
Yeah, because when you said that, I thought like, oh, that would make me feel better about myself because I'm like, I actually did choose it, but not in this universe, like the other one, you know? And
But
then I would be like, oh, that's still me doing that.
I'm
So I
like
still get
thinking
to
of like, or like thinking of like, if I would I stayed in Florida and went to Florida college, and like I think to like another university I did, that doesn't make me feel better because then it's just like makes me jealous or whatever. Or show up like regret. But I don't know.
Kira, do you think it's
Actually,
possible?
I remember the first time I like ever regretted something.
Wait, when?
It was I was at a
That's a
camping.
great topic.
I was at a I'm gonna have to go soon. It's 10 o'clock.
Okay, but
But we're at a Kirsten and I were at a camping trip with like Aunt Jen and Uncle Tim and Grandma June and all of them. And I like it was only for the weekend, but they were gonna stay for the week. But
hmm
Kirsten and I just planned to stay in during the weekend because like whatever. But then Kirsten, we decided like she decided, or like I wanted to go and then she wanted to stay. And then on the car drive, I think we are living with like Chacho during the time or something.
really.
Like on the way back to Chacho's, Eric like regretted um leaving. So it's been like regret has been like a core memory in me. It's like
Yeah, Kira, do
very
you think
fun.
like you'll always regret your life decisions, or do you think there will be a time where you'll be able to like
Well, yeah.
discern what you'll regret and what you won't?
Well, now I'm like I've like learned a lot on like choice or whatever. So now I'm like I think more about like my choices and what that could lead to and if I don't feel right about doing something, then I like don't do it. Then I like listen to my gut more and what I would want to do, or like my instinct and what.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't take
Apparently,
anything at like face like value. I just give it a get long thought.
you know, like there's two sides of your brain. There's intuition and there's um, what is the other one? Intuition, intellect. So like, so the intuitive side and the thinking side, and apparently when you're a kid, your intuitive side is much more like well developed, and then just living in this society, there's so much of your intellectual side that you have to use that your intuitive side never really gets used enough, and it atrophies over time, and that's why it's like you have less of the intuition, but then somehow like through life experiences you can just kind of randomly gain that sense of intuition back slowly and slowly. And I think it's one of the things where if you use it, you
You just
won't
like
lose it.
learn how to like use it again
Hmm.
to listen to it more.
Yeah. Like that's how people remote view. They'll be given coordinates and then they'll remote view and using their intuition, they'll just intuitively say where they are remote
Mhm.
viewing, what they are remote viewing. And sometimes sometimes the researcher won't tell them if they're right or wrong because if they tell them, then they'll build like an intellectual part that is like saying the intuitive part is right or wrong. You know what I'm saying?
Also
Instead,
with like
yeah,
intuition, it's a lot of like having trust in yourself.
yeah, that's exactly it. And the intellectual side can distrust. You know what I'm saying? But the intuitive side just needs to be a strong foundation of trust. Even though sometimes it will get things wrong, but the more you trust it and use it, the more like the better it'll be for you. Carrie,
Mhm.
do you think that you can manifest things like in reality?
Yeah, you soon.
You don't think so?
No, I have to go. It's like 10.
Oh shit!
But
Answer the
Mandos,
question.
yeah, because I think like, for example, like I really want to work with like Florida Lotus when I'm like,
Hmm.
so if I keep like thinking it and like saying, okay, I'm gonna work with them one day and work with them one day,
Okay, now
or
my
like
question to
coming
you
to,
is, how is that different from just praying that you hope to work with them one day?
I think
Like,
it's the same
aren't you,
thing.
yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Like, you are religious, you just don't know it.
Yeah, no, I never said I'm not religious.
Hmm. But you did say you don't need religion. But I think
I was just thinking about
everybody.
like the normal like average person. I wasn't thinking about myself.
Well, I was asking you these questions for yourself to answer, not the normal average person. And also, how are you supposed to answer questions for the normal average person if you
I don't,
said you're not him or her?
I don't,
You know what I'm saying?
well, but at that point, you've been talking about that for like an hour or whatever, and then like I don't really care.
Wait, what?
Like by that point, you've been Steph. This is definitely a crew episode.
Hmm. Yeah, I was.
You look really skinny too. I feel like
Yeah, I haven't really been eating. I've just been fucking very sad.
why haven't you been like eating stuff?
Well, I mean, I made dinner, but I didn't really eat that much. Maybe that's why I was fucking irritable today because I didn't eat.
Have you like started making like new recipes or whatever?
No. Yeah, nothing
Why
is
don't you
changing,
do
and
that?
that's why I want to kill
I
myself.
think I think you need like a change.
Yeah, I need a
Even if it's
friend.
just like even if it's just like a little thing.
Hmm.
But you're not gonna make a friend when you're feeling like this. So if you like
True. Mm.
you change something about yourself that you do internally or whatever, it'll make you feel better about yourself and have more confidence in yourself to go out and meet people or do that. Even if it's just like making a new meat like recipe or something.
What is another thing I could do besides making a new recipe?
maybe like do something creative or something.
Yeah, I could just make music.
Yeah, you have the equipment and everything, and you have your
Hmm.
guitar.
I do. Yeah.
You're learning guitar.
Yeah.
Like so you're not like thinking about everything like so much. So you could just like think about one thing in the moment for like 30 minutes or whatever.
Hmm. Yeah, I meditated the other day and I felt very peaceful and happy.
You just gotta find something that like sparks inspiration again for
Hmm.
you.
Yeah, I just need
And makes you
one
wanna
thing to change because then they'll be novel. Because I think what's been going on is the novelty of living here has been wearing off over time. And with that, sadness increasing over time. And I think I should need to find new novel things to enjoy. Yeah. Also, I need to be not sick so then I can fucking hit this shit and like feel good and
that's
not.
probably also why you don't feel good because like you're sick and you're not like at your
Mhm.
best.
No, I haven't hit this all day except at 5 p.m. I hit it, and then I was like, oh my god, I feel good finally. And then I felt good, and I walked around outside
Or
for
even
hours.
or like even just like walking around like in a new area.
Yeah, I need to
Like
do that too. You know, that's why I need to find a club or something that I can walk to. Because if I could do
go
that,
after this, literally go look up comedy club near me.
hmm, yeah,
Just go. It's Orlando. I'm sure they have like a bunch. Or
yeah. What are you planning to do this week,
this is
Carrie?
the problem I have with Emily too. Like she says, "Oh, I don't have anything to do. I don't like
No,
whatever."
I
And then
have things to do, like
yeah,
making
and then
music
it's
and
like, and then I
working on
tell
music.
her, and then I tell her, "Oh, why don't you go do this or that?" She's like, "No, I don't want to do that." And it's like, "Well, you just dig yourself a deeper hole or whatever."
You know what it is? It's like the motivation. Like, it feels like any work I do will just not really amount to anything, no matter how much effort I put into it. So I'm like, oh, it's okay if I just don't do it today because I'm not gonna succeed. You know, like, do you feel
That's
that way
how
about or movies?
that's how I feel about my script. I'm like, and I like, I'm in kind of a rough patch right now, and I kind of just think, "Oh, this isn't gonna like amount to anything. I don't know why I'm
But the
writing it."
difference is, you
It's
have
like,
a fucking entire script, and I have just horribly shitty music that like
okay,
I don't know how to
so
make music.
a year,
Like
a
you're
year,
actually writing a whole
a
like
year ago,
idea.
a year ago, I didn't have a script at all. I only
Hmm.
started writing in the summer, but
Hmm.
like I only had like one scene written, and I just like every day in the morning, I would work on it for like a couple hours, and eventually I got to where I am. So you just gotta. It's about consistency and like making sure
Oh
you
yeah,
do it every
yeah.
day. So like if you play your guitar every day or practice your guitar every day,
And I
you're gonna
was
get.
doing that, and then I stopped.
Or if you're making music every day, like eventually it's gonna like turn into something, and then you have more confidence in yourself that like, oh, like this could actually be something.
Hmm.
So like, you should do that with music. Rocco made a beat like a month ago or a few weeks ago that he showed me, and it was really good. You gotta just do it. Like
Hmm.
you can't just, it's like not you can't have
See, this is the problem, Carrie.
like
There's two
wait,
types of
hold
knowledge.
on,
Yeah,
hold on,
yeah.
hold on, hold on. Like one big change in your life isn't gonna fix everything. It's like little things that you have to like fix or
Hmm.
work on to like
Yeah, and the other problem is that the intention of telling me this is all very good, but it is not going into my brain because what goes in your brain is experiential learning. So I have to just experience it by doing it. And you could tell me this every day, and it won't like get knocked into my brain until I just do it, you know? Like there's different information between words and experience. You know what I'm saying? Because I have experienced that in the past and I've overcome it. And now I'm at the stage where I just have to overcome it again. And it's like amnesia where you always forget that it's like a pretty simple thing to overcome, but you always don't think you're going to have to overcome it every single time you want to do a creative endeavor, you know?
Or like what I with my script, what I like to do, I like planned out all the episodes on like
Mm-hmm.
certain key points I want to hit. So then when I'm writing, I'm like, okay, I'm almost to this point. So then it's a good like milestone to hit. You have to like,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, see, the different thing is, I mean, I guess it would be like going to the gym, like making music every day. Like, eventually I would just hear it getting a little bit better every day until I'm like, oh, this sounds good.
yeah.
And then,
Like, do you have time in the morning to work on it
oh,
or
yeah, I have time all day. I'm just constantly being distracted by my phone and letting it distract me.
so that's why I like to do what I like to write like first thing in the morning. So then it's like before I even like really look at
Oh,
this.
I look at my phone like I'll wake up
Or like
and then
I looked at my phone in the morning, but I like over time like trained myself to just like barely look at it, just look at my notifications quick and then like put it down. It's just about consistency and just doing it.
hmm this is all much more motivational when there's a separate person telling me this, you know, and not myself. Because when it's just me alone, there's like no amount of telling myself this that actually gets me to like do action, you know?
Also, right now in your life, it's like a boring part of or it's like a boring part of your life right now because it's like you don't because like compared to like your 20s or you have like a job and like you have like this foundation of like what you're supposed to be doing, but now you're a student, so you don't really know you have
hmm
what you're supposed to be doing and you have all this free time to do whatever. And you know what I mean?
Yeah. And I'm wasting it learning about the Jews. But then again, I could just write a book about that.
Well, why don't you like write a fiction book or like a
Oh no, I'm
fiction?
writing nonfiction about why the Holocaust was fake, Carrie.
Actually,
No, I mean that would be funny. I kind of want to. I want to get assassinated by Jewish people, by Israel. Like that's my goal. Is to say something so like they have to kill me because I'm telling the truth too much. Like that's one of my in the multiverse of Makuru's lives. One of my lives, I'm a journalist and I get assassinated by Israel, and then I die with a smile on my face.
also another thing is like I like don't have a job or anything, so I'm just bored and I don't have anything to do. So then I make like this my job or my work.
Yeah, that's what I always tell myself, and then I'm like, well, and then
I don't,
mom will say like, you're not making any money off that, and I'm like, yeah, I know, fuck, I
but
need to
it
get a
doesn't,
job.
so, but it's still like my hard work that I spend hours on and like
Yeah, yeah, and I spent hours on my music, and it's just sitting there.
you just gotta open it up again.
Well, no, I don't know how to make those like audio files into like my career, you know?
Well, you, you do like research on like how to like be a music producer, see what other people did.
Usually they either have connections or
Or who's dating Selena Gomez right now?
oh
Benny.
Benny Blanco.
Yeah, because he was like a producer for like years since like
Yeah, who's
Katy
just
Perry
putting
started out,
yeah, who's
and like
making songs.
nobody really knew who he was or whatever until recently.
Yeah, he made hella hits, which is that would be fun.
Or like Doechii, like
Oh yeah, the
look at
industry
it.
plant.
Oh my God. I think she was she like made a video, like a YouTube video like 5 years ago or whatever, saying that
hmm
like she just got fired from her job or
and it
whatever.
was the
And
best
then,
thing that ever happened to her.
yeah. And then she was like, I'm gonna go intern at studios to
You see, like
learn how to do.
that kind of like, I don't know why I'm not like that, where I'm not like doing proactive things, you know,
Because I think in this like point in your life, I think you're supposed to be like working on your
portfolio.
like yeah, your portfolio, your craft, like and stuff like with writing, like I'm like you know what I mean? It's just like
Hmm.
a um preliminary step and like, okay, this is what I want to do and like just practicing on how to perfect it
Hmm.
until I'm and like gain self-confidence in myself and like, okay, I know how to do this now. Until I'm like I can show this to like studios or I don't know. Like you're not gonna be like a big music producer like tomorrow. It takes like time and effort and work to do it.
Hmm.
And like right now I'm kind of in this stage in my or era in my life that like I'm working on myself and like going to the gym and you know doing all that and being myself and not letting other people like decide what I want to do or let other people tell me what to do or whatever.
How's the gym been going?
I haven't gone since I came back. Well, because I came back on Wednesday
Wait, what?
and
What
then
day? Tomorrow is April Fool's Day.
yep,
You came back at last one.
Wednesday.
Oh, that's not that many days. That's like 5 days.
Yep. I was gonna go tonight, but then I had to do this. So
I cannot wait to stop being sick. sick, sick. Sorry, I'm getting
also,
with
also I'm sure like being sick and like not feeling your best is like making you feel like this too.
you. Hmm.
Like when I was sick, I like felt like shit, and I just went
Yeah.
and
Also, it
stuff.
doesn't help being addicted to drugs. I don't like that. I mean, I like that because it's fun in the moment, but
I would just like once that's out, I would like not buy
oh
anything.
yeah, I can't because my fucking I think my card is in Michigan or some shit, so I can't.
Yeah,
Yeah, mainly just boredom. And
that's
boozing,
when
there's two kinds of boredom. There's cool boredom and there's hot boredom. Cool boredom is boring and nobody wants to be in it. Hot boredom is where you're not bored, you're interested in like every part of life and you don't need anything to be entertaining you. You're just in your life. You're just living your life and you don't feel bored by it. You don't have to be entertained by other things, which is the goal where to be. But right now I'm like cool bored and where I'm just like,
also like
Jesus,
with
bro.
their like situation of like living or whatever. I mean, or sharing a dorm with three other people, and like it's
Hmm.
not your own space,
Hmm.
you know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
like it
Like I
kind of
really like I have auto tune right here and I don't sing because that sound feels embarrassing. But I record this. That's at least one thing. Yeah. Well, that was a lot of good advice.
you
Thank
should
you.
think about that. And
I will
like
tonight. Yeah.
tomorrow when you wake up, first thing you should do is like make coffee and make a beat or just
Yeah. There's a
open
you
even
can't see it. There's a post-it on my wall that I put up. It says "Make music,"
yeah,
and I
or,
listened to that for probably 2 days, and then I just
or
stopped listening to
even like in the morning because like some days I didn't want to work on my script.
it. You just cut out right, the very crucial part. What'd you say?
I can't hear anything.
Can you hear me? Hello. Testing. Hello.
Okay, my headphones got unplugged.
Oh.
Like I would just open up my laptop even if I didn't want to work and I just read over what I did yesterday and I would like edit it and that would usually get me in them.
That's a
roll.
good idea. Instead of making an entirely new beat to start out, I could just edit
Yeah,
an old one, and then that will kind of
yeah,
get me in the flow. Like, okay,
yeah.
now
That's what I do. Yeah,
okay, that's a good idea. I'll
because it's
definitely
like,
do that.
okay, it's like 9 in the morning. I can't think of anything to write right now. I'm just gonna edit what I did.
Write that down.
It's just like baby steps you have to, and then like, yeah,
Bro, you know how you used to write on post-it notes all the time? I write on post-it notes all the time now.
yeah. Look at my stack I have.
I literally every day I'll write little notes.
See my stack,
Holy shit! Oh my god, there's so many post-it notes.
and then this is like my blank ones that I have.
Wow.
I actually love post-it notes. It's like one of my favorite things.
Yeah, it definitely is useful to use them every day. Because I also have, you see my fucking schizophrenia journal, Carrie. This is where I just write everything. Like I was going crazy today. Like I was literally. See all that? I'll show you. This is what it looked like.
That's what you were doing.
Literally doing that shit. Like going crazy and just, I don't know. And then
So I would,
I drew that.
well, why don't you like draw or like
Yeah.
paint? I don't know.
Yeah. And I also write like a schizophrenic man. Like I'll read it back and be like, Jesus Christ, what was I doing?
My like handwriting changes on like one page like 6 different times. Goes
Really?
from like cursive to like whatever, you know.
That
Yep.
changes for me, but it's like the way I hold my like pen. Like I'll go
Yeah.
like this and then
Yeah.
this.
It like my like I changed the way I hold my pen and like it changed my handwriting.
Yeah.
Do you
I
believe in like handwriting analysis?
I thought that was like debunked.
It might have been, I don't know. That kind of,
But honestly, like makes sense because like I've
yeah.
noticed that like based on my mood, I'll write letters differently.
Yeah.
But maybe that's because I already learned
But I feel
about
like
the
it's like a
handwriting
lot of
thing.
like subconscious like how you write.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. Like how body language is. Like the body language right now I'm open, but if I
Yeah.
was like when I'm like sad and depressed, I'm like closed. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm. Mhm. 'Cause I know a couple like handwriting analysis things.
Carrie, what do you do in the middle of the day when you're like really bored and sad and you don't want to do anything and you're
I
just like I want
just
to kill myself? What do you do?
I go on TikTok unfortunately.
But does that help? Like I do that too because now I'm started to like devolve and like be a worse person. Um, and now I'm just like more and more and more addicted
Well,
to my phone.
sometimes
It's like, what
like
do I do?
sometimes it helps me because that like okay it like inspires me. I'm like okay I can do go do that or like actually what I just started because I've been so bored and like I just been on TikTok and I'm like I keep telling myself I don't want to like get off TikTok. I'm starting to make like another video thing for dad
Oh, really?
something.
He'll like that.
So that's like I'm putting my because I've been like on a writer's block forever. So I just like started editing another video. Actually has helped a lot too. So that's like something to do other than TikTok.
Yeah, if I had a gun, I would be dead. I would fucking kill myself by now because the boredom overtakes
Well, now you have something to do.
me. Yeah, for like an hour, and then I'll be like, okay, I finished that task, and I'll convince myself that I'm good for the day and I don't have to do that anymore. And then I'll just be on my.
Well, don't you go to class and stuff? Don't
I
you have
skip
schoolwork?
class a lot, and
Well, I
I
think
accidentally have skipped a lot of. I think I might almost fail again because I've like done too much. Like, oh, whoops, I forgot I had to do that. Like some of my classes I might pass, but I might fail one or two of them. I don't know because like especially my American government one. Um, I missed like an like a essay or some shit, and I've gotten probably multiple zeros on essays because I disagree with the premise and
Well, like, well, another than that, like, beats my boredom is like just doing schoolwork or just going to class and like getting out of my dorm instead of
Yeah,
staying in it all
yeah.
day.
That's what made me feel good today because I skipped my first class because I was feeling like shit and like sick. And I went to the store to buy coffee, and then I came back, had coffee, and then by that time it was time for my next class. So I actually went to that one
Yep,
and I took notes,
yep.
and I felt very good.
So why don't you start doing that?
Yeah, I just I think the
Because
sickness
I
is
think,
mentally
yeah,
taking me over.
yeah. So I think
Because
like just,
before this I was big zone. I think it's just me being sick.
I think it's just you being sick. Yeah.
Are you still
But
sick or are you not sick?
no, I'm fine.
God
But
damn.
I think, but like when you like start skipping class and you don't do work and then you just dig yourself a deeper hole. And
Mm.
yeah, so I think you just gotta start just going. What I like to do when I'm sick, I'm just like, I just say to myself, okay, you're not sick, you're completely fine. I just like um make it delusional of that I'm not sick and I'm completely.
Yeah, I did that, and then I went to the gym and I worked way too hard.
Or maybe you just need to like take a rest and like
Yeah, I need to.
hydrate
Yeah,
a lot.
yeah. I drank a bunch of water. I slept a lot last night.
Yeah.
Bro, I've been waking up at like 3 in the morning with suicidal thoughts, and I cannot get back to bed. That's also been fucking my sleep. Like I used to be sleeping 12 hours a night, and now I just wake up early in the morning.
Has it been like before your sickness or like just
Yeah, before my sick. Yeah, before I got sick, and then I was like, "What the fuck?" And then I stopped taking melatonin, and then I started just like
yeah, you might have to like
smoking to go to bed,
probably just
and
have to like
that helped.
probably just have to like stop taking melatonin for a little bit or I don't know.
Hmm.
Or
I
are you
mainly just want the
is your
suicidal thoughts to end because
is
I
your like
was
is your
thinking,
sinuses all like inflamed or whatever?
yeah, like
Yeah.
congested.
Do you have did you get like medicine for that?
No, no, I'm going on no medicine. I just been drinking water and
Okay.
blowing my nose too much and coughing and
Because
looking at
sometimes
this and wanting to hit it.
because like because I had a bad sinus infection in February and I was like miserable for like 2 weeks and then I went to the doctor and they gave me an antibiotic and I was better
Yeah,
like the next
I
day.
was thinking about that because I was like, oh, I could just do that. And then I was like, I don't want to help the future antibiotic, like they say like the strong bacteria that's going to be able to overcome all the antibiotics because we use them so much. I'm like waiting for that superbug. So I want my immune system to be ready for that bad boy. And I was like, fuck the antibiotics. My immune system can handle this. And it is being destroyed. I might not make it till
Do
tomorrow.
you have like a free student clinic thing?
Yeah, I think we do. I walk by it every day. I don't know if it's
Because you
free though.
probably it probably is.
I was gonna steal
Mine is
cough
free.
medicine from Walmart today to get high, but I was in Walmart looking at the cough medicine. I was like, I'm not gonna do it. And then I walked
Because
out and I didn't steal it.
I think you just need like a good antibiotic and so then you just like feel better about yourself and then like you're not like this.
Yeah, yeah,
Because like you're what from what I'm hearing, the main root of your problem is that you're sick. As of right now. So like if you know, so I would like Google like your clinic name and like see if you have to make an appointment. Sometimes you do.
yeah. Hopefully the
Or
sickness is
get
gone by tomorrow, because I have a feeling that I'm gonna sleep tonight and wake up and it'll be gone.
or
Hopefully not.
I was gonna say like get like a there's like a really high dose of like NyQuil that like makes you sleep for like 18 hours or something like that.
Brother, they in Cruise Country we call that bad boy Delsum, and it's called Robo Trippin' Carry. It makes you feel good. It makes you feel like you're
But then like
disassociating.
then like you're not feeling sick because you're sleeping.
Oh no, it actually keeps me up. If I took NyQuil, that would knock me out, but the Delsum makes me stay awake for a long
No,
time.
that's what I'm talking about, NyQuil.
Mm. Yeah, maybe I should do that.
There's like a higher doses.
Yeah.
Are you like in the depths of your sickness or
Oh
like
no, I just have a small cough, and I'm just annoyed that I can't get high, and it makes me cough like horribly.
do you have
I just
like
want to smoke.
do you have like your inhaler?
Yeah, I was fucking killing it today. Made me feel good.
I would I would take it. No, don't take it now. Okay. I was gonna say don't take it now because it makes you cough. So you're gonna be coughing at night. So
Actually, I think what was making me cough so bad was like laying down flat. I was feeling bad, but then
to
I
try
was,
staying up more tonight,
yeah,
maybe.
yeah. The problem is, look how fucking flat the one pillow right there.
I just have one pillow. I have like three.
Well, I went to Walmart and Dad bought me one pillow, so
You couldn't ask for two.
no,
Yes, Dad has two
he's a
pillows.
cheap Jew, yeah, Carrie. I can't ask for more than one pillow. But yeah, thank you for the advice. I'm definitely gonna do that thing tomorrow morning.
One thing.
I'm gonna edit a beat instead
Oh
of
yeah.
making a whole new one, and then I'll start to make a whole new one. Yeah,
Because like with the creative processes, I don't know how what it's like with music, but like I know it's like with writing. So
I think it's the same with everything you do.
but
Because
like I don't know how like making a beat works
well,
really.
it's the exact same thing as writing. It's just a different medium.
You should try that.
Try what? Oh,
Editing.
oh, I thought you meant writing. I was like, what? Okay. Yeah, I would like to write like articles and shit and get paid for that, but I don't know what the fuck I would write about.
Well, they you'd probably have to find assignments. Journalism,
True.
you just find things, just
Yeah,
find
you're
things
right.
to write. So now you want to do journalism? You could
Yeah,
do
because
photojournalism.
well, no, because I was thinking since I'm so into this Jewish conspiracy that's real, like there's this woman Whitney Webb who wrote multiple books about like the Epstein Mossad. Um, like Epstein was not just like some random pedophile. He was like working for the Israeli intelligence as an asset to blackmail people for the Israelis, and that worked for years. Donald Trump was mentored by this guy. I think his name was Ed Cohen, and he was like a prolific blackmailer. He was one of the guys who was like very good at it back in the day. And the Plaza Hotel that Trump owns, that was where the Jewish mob and the Italian mafia blackmailed J. Edgar Hoover
Mhm.
because he used to cross dress and fuck boys. And they recorded that secretly in these bugged hotel rooms in the Plaza Hotel, like where Kevin McAllister stayed out with his family. And that's how they blackmailed the head of the FBI into literally doing whatever the fucking mob and the mafia wanted for years. And they discovered that J. Edgar Hoover and their relationship, like I think his guy's name was Meyer Lansky or some shit, and they discovered that the relationship you have business partners when you blackmail each other is much stronger because you can't like one up each other because you guys have blackmail on each other, you know, and it's usually sexual blackmail with like underage like kids.
Mhm.
And yeah, this lady wrote a whole book about that, and she was yeah, and I was like, damn, I could do that because that interests me a lot, you know. And you know, Channel Five, Andrew Callahan, he's like this independent journalist guy who always like he's on YouTube. You probably if I showed you him, you would like know him by seeing him. But that
Mhm.
also has influenced me and made me kind of want to get into journalism too. So I might do that in the future. I don't know.
Or I just thought of Ethel King.
Hmm.
She basically she like got a house in Alabama and she basically like locked herself in like a few months to like work on her album.
How the fuck did she buy a house?
Or like she probably like rented a house or something.
Mm.
And like it was like when like rural Indiana or Alabama probably. Or something. But she's been making music for like years. Um, since
Yeah, that's the problem. Because everything takes years to develop. So I just need to be doing something in these years.
like it also like they like do like little things every day. They don't. That's why it takes so long.
Oh
You
yeah,
know.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's like ultimately, like, I'm just too impatient, you know? I just gotta be
Like
more patient.
like she started making music in 2019, but she didn't really get big until like 2022, really, with the Peaches drums. And like she does everything herself too, like production wise and everything.
Really, that's cool.
Cause she has everything, like all of her equipment in her room and everything. And she's releasing another album in August, which I'm really excited for.
Does she have a name?
It's called Willoughby Tucker, I Will Always Love You.
Is it based off the character Ethel Kane, or is it different?
Well, okay, her real name is like Hayden something, but she created this character named Ethel Kane, and it's just like conceptual, like storyline albums about Ethel's life.
So this new one is also about Ethel Kane's life too.
Yes. But Perverts, the one she like just released, that's not with Ethel Kane's storyline. That's just like Hayden's personal thing. But like that, but like she's talked about it like in her live videos that she does, like it's taken like a lot, like years to like make this and everything.
Yeah, yeah, I'm thinking about that. Yeah.
So but you just gotta she always says you just gotta like force yourself to do it. You just gotta
Mhm. Well, that's very motivational.
actually
Oh yeah, no, I'm serious. Like I'm actually deeply thinking about this.
I'm kind of motivated too, not gonna lie. Like
Wait, what?
I'm kind of motivated too.
Wait, I motivate? Wait, what?
No, I motivated myself.
Oh yeah, I mean you're that's like good advice.
Because also like what I like to like think about like other people creating their like art, like Ethel Kane and like what they had to do. And like she probably went through something like we were going through and she got through it. So,
Yeah, like everybody goes through the same thing, but it's like lifting in the gym. Like until you're
yeah.
lifting in the gym, you don't know what it's like because you're not doing it. You have to be
Yeah.
writing, or you have to be making music, or you have to be lifting. You
Yeah.
have to be doing the action, or you're not doing the action. And it all boils down to very simple things. But experiential knowledge is much harder to like grasp and understand than just words, and that's why it's different.
Yeah.
But hopefully tomorrow I'll take this advice and
Well, like don't
be
even
one
like
building block.
do it do do it like first thing in the morning. Like don't even go on TikTok or anything. That's
Yeah.
like
Well,
that's what I
I
do.
usually go on Twitter
Don't go on
and I'll
Twitter.
just yeah.
Just go straight. Maybe like check your notifications and
I never have notifications.
yeah, I mean my phone's always dry.
I might steal some fucking cough syrup tomorrow, Gary. I
I
don't know.
would I would I'm gonna look up the clinic for you because I know you're not gonna do it. Okay, student health service.
I wonder if it's free. I feel like you would have to pay for it.
You shouldn't have to be.
This up here on the desk. So in the morning I'll see it and I'll read it and be like, oh yeah, Carrie told me that.
What?
This.
Oh, yeah, it's free.
Oh
There's
really? Holy
like
shit. So I can
so
go
good.
get fucking medicine for free.
Well, like you have to make an appointment with the doctor and be like, "Oh, this is wrong with me,"
Wow,
and then
I
they'll
should have
can.
fucking done that today.
So like, go to make an appointment tonight for like tomorrow or something. if you're still be feeling bad, or do it maybe I would sleep tonight and then maybe do it
Yeah,
tomorrow
yeah, because
in case you
hopefully,
feel like better.
yeah, hopefully I feel better
But
tomorrow.
if you're not, I would like go to the doctor to get prescribed
Mm.
antibiotics or something.
Yeah, because then I don't have to steal cough medicine from Walmart.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Is there like a CVS around here or something?
yeah, right by the Walmart. And I was thinking about
No.
stealing cough medicine from there too.
Yeah.
Carrie, have you ever tried Benadryl, like doing a bunch?
No.
Because people like it's like psychoactive, apparently. It's like a deliriant. It makes you
Mm.
delirious. That's like literally the medical term for it, I think.
Every time I go to Amgen's, I have to like take Benadryl at night, or else I'm wheezing
Oh, really?
because of the dogs.
Does it
Because like
change
the
how you
dogs.
live your day, or does it not really affect you that much?
Well, I took it last time I took it was when I was there last time, but I was also sick when I took it. Because
Mm.
in the morning I was still like really tired, so I don't know if that was from. It's probably just from being sick and the Benadryl. It's just like a stronger dose of like melatonin. Like you really feel it.
You just said Benadryl is a stronger dose of melatonin? I
Well, I
don't
guess
think
with
so.
melatonin, it's like a light, like okay, you're going to sleep. Then with Benadryl, it's like a punch
Mm.
to go to
You
sleep.
meant like chemically they're the same. I was like, I don't think so.
But like if you took Benadryl, it'd probably help with your sickness. So
Oh yeah,
that's it.
definitely. Yeah. Yeah.
But dude, did you hear me when I was sick at Indiana? Did you hear me that one night ever going getting up every 2 seconds?
Oh yeah, and I kept thinking in the middle of that, I was like, God damn, it sucks she's throwing up right now. Like I would kill my, it
But
would be
but
so.
it was every single hour on the hour. It was always at like 2:40, 3:40, 4:40.
Those were like the nights when you just rethink everything. You're like, why am I doing this? You know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah.
like, why don't I have the gall to kill myself right now? You know what I'm saying?
But I think it was just like food poisoning. I don't think it was the norovirus.
Well, it must have been something because like I have that, and you guys were coughing, and I think I'm gonna have this cough. I had
Yeah.
it today and yesterday, and you
Yeah,
know,
I had a cough for like 2 to 3 days. Or it wasn't even, but it wasn't like a big cough. It was just like a light cough.
oh yeah, it's just like a light cough, and also I just
Yeah.
really want to hit this, and it's stopping me from.
Yeah. I had that on it lasted how long have you had that?
I want to say 2 days, maybe 3 days.
So it should be getting better now.
Yeah, I feel like
'Cause I had
tomorrow I'll
that.
be fine. I want to go hit abs tomorrow, Carrie.
I need to go to the gym tomorrow.
Yeah, how about this? I'm gonna go to the gym even if I'm sick, okay?
No, don't.
Even if
It's
I'm
just gonna make
throwing
you
up
worse.
blood.
It's just gonna make you worse, Kurt. I think your body's telling you you need to just like rest.
No, yeah, I think what made the sickness worse was I went to the gym and I went so fucking hard at the gym. And I
Yes.
was thinking like, damn, this is unusually like a good workout right now. And then I left and I was feeling good. And then I think literally that night I was like, oh no, I'm sick as fuck.
So I think because you're doing so much, then at night it really hits you because you're finally like resting, so that like you're coughing a lot.
Yeah.
Because then your lungs finally have like a chance to like settle
Start getting that
down.
shit out. Yeah.
So that's why you should like take it easy and do your inhaler during the day, and then don't do it at night because then it's gonna make you cough. Because the medicine makes you cough more to get the mucus out. But you just took it, so
Yeah, I only took one.
okay. So don't take it anymore.
Mhm.
And then just like drink a lot of water stuff. I feel like I'm like your life coach right now. Just
Yeah, I
like
mean, it feels like it. It's helping out. Because before this, I was just like, oh, I'm gonna kill myself. Go through my whole day like that. Like I was literally walking home from Walmart, and I was thinking about like I walked in front of traffic. I almost pushed down every like electric scooter I saw. I almost like hit people. Like I was having a bad day. Like I wanted to kill people, and oh my god. And now I'm feeling much better. So
Alan,
this is good.
Alan needs this like genuinely.
No, yeah, for real. I was
Because
also maybe.
I was like reading like mom and Giselle's texts because like whatever, and like Giselle was saying that Alan's like really down bad right now.
Mhm.
And that's why I won't come visit you because like he probably thinks that like you don't want to be friends with him anymore because like you never talk, you never hang out. Like,
Even though
so,
I texted him to come up.
yeah.
Hmm. But
But
yeah,
like
shit
still
happens.
like in that mental state, you think
Oh yeah, yeah,
like
yeah.
maybe you could like text Giselle, maybe be like, hey, do you think you could like go pick me up to hang out with Alan for the weekend or something? I don't know.
Yeah, maybe I'll write that down. I'll say maybe text Giselle, and then
Because
tomorrow I'll say,
because I know that she wants you to like hang out with him to like
oh, I thought Mom said she didn't want me to hang out with him.
well no maybe well because like Dave and all that.
Mm.
But I don't,
Well,
maybe just
we'll
ask
see.
you just ask just out just to see.
Yeah,
Because it
well,
doesn't hurt to like, ask like
true. Hmm.
um,
Yeah, like I always think about when I'm walking by people, like complimenting them, and then I never do it.
yeah.
But I literally always think about it, and I'm like, damn, I could be a good person and feel good about complimenting somebody, but I just stay silent. But I gotta those little things change.
Also, um, there's I'm like a detective because there's just a girl in my sports class that's like when you see people and you're like, oh, they look like they're interesting, an interesting person or
Do you
whatever.
mean interesting, like special needs or what?
No, 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 just like a normal person. Like
But what about them looks interesting?
I don't know, there's just like this magnetic force. I don't know.
You
And it's
definitely
like
are more
I just
esoteric, like intuitive.
yeah.
Do
Or
you?
there
Do I have that? Do I have
actually
the force?
you just gotta like learn the force. Like I
No,
didn't
no, no.
have
I'm saying like when you are around me, do you feel like do I have a charismatic like attraction or do I
yeah,
not?
because like everybody wants to like talk to you
Is that
when
with
you're
everybody or is it am I doing something right or is it just general?
I think it's just like your force in general. That like
Okay, good,
because
good.
like Miles always wants to talk to you, Kirsten, me, Rocco.
I don't think I've talked to Kirsten in like a year or two.
But, but like when she's down, when like you see each other, like
Mhm.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like you have that. But anyway, there's this girl in my class,
Oh
and
yeah, sorry.
I
Yeah.
knew I knew that she played a sport for Michigan State. So I like today I was looking up the rosters for women's sports, and I found her, and she plays volleyball, and she's from Poland. She's an international student.
Wow, that sounds like a
And I'm
fun.
like, oh, we're Polish, so it's like,
Yeah. Are you gonna try to make a new friend? Carrie, I want to ask you a question.
and then
Like,
today in class, or
yeah.
like the reason why like is like this one girl, because like I'm in the aisle,
Hmm.
and like she's in the aisle like opposite of me.
Okay,
So and then today in class, she was like right in front of me. So,
that's cool. Carrie, do you have the urge to like make friends and like talk to people? Or do you
mm,
like do you want to be alone and you're like fuck people, I want to be just
I'm
alone?
okay. Don't like shut up this, but I kind of feel like I'm like I kind of get like narcissistic in that sense, but like, because I'm just like I don't know.
Well, you're probably just comfortable with yourself so much that you're okay with being alone
Yeah. But
because
like
like you know yourself.
you know, I mean, I like a lot. Like I do want friends, but like I don't really.
Yeah, I
Or
really
like
just want like
with
yeah.
like film students, with me, it's like you don't understand the like film the way I do, so like I can't relate to
But
you, or you don't.
don't you think other people seem like they have different understandings of like media, but then you can find out that you guys have like similar understandings?
Yeah, but
Because most of the differences is like your ego telling you that there is a difference, you know, but not ego in like either putting you down or putting you up, and not just putting you on the same level playing field as everybody else
yeah.
around you. So yeah, that makes sense because I feel that a lot of the time too. Like a lot of the day, I'll be like, I'm chilling. I'm like just being myself. Like be chilling, like doing my life. And then
But
sometimes I'll be like, fuck, I want friends. I'm so
but I think like because I see in TikTok all the time that like a lot of people like our age go through this like patch of loneliness.
sad. Mhm.
and like it's just like something. It's just like because like you just got out of high school with all of your friends and stuff, so now like naturally you're in this new place, so you're gonna feel lonely, and you just have to like it's. And then for me, I feel like it's time to work on myself during this period of like not having a lot of friends. So I'm gonna work on
Mhm.
myself and like work on my work with my script and everything in my creative process. So then, yeah,
I think that's it because I was like doing the physically working on myself because like going to the gym in
yeah,
high school already. So I was like, oh, I'm already working on myself. And
yeah,
now I have to do it mentally, which is
yeah. Now
different.
it's a mentally, yeah.
Well, I
And I
kind
think
of
that's like,
started doing it mentally when I
yeah,
learned about like Buddhism and meditation, but like that was the beginning of the process.
and I
And now
think,
it's learning about how to do work and like
yeah,
just discipline
yeah. And I
making
think
music.
like with kids our age, now they're in like this big patch of loneliness. They're living by themselves. They don't
Hmm.
have people telling them what to do.
Yeah.
So now they have to like work up the nerve to like go to class and do their schoolwork and make friends and work on their selves and all this. Yeah. Like it's not this it's this universal feeling you're feeling. It's not just yourself feeling this. It's everybody.
Yeah, because I'll walk around campus and be like, I can tell he's feeling the same thing I'm feeling, you know? Like there's this kid today I saw, and the way he was walking, I was like, I can tell he's also like lonely, like I am. And then I was like, and what do I, where from there, where do I go, you know? Because there's still something blocking me from the change where I have to, where I can like do little changes by
Yeah.
little interactions with people.
Yeah. Yeah, this is where you can like get your small interactions and how to like communicate with people and baby steps. And then when you're out in the real world, you have like some sort of footing to land on and or some sort of knowledge to.
Yeah, I think I just have to always remember like I'm gonna pretty much every day feel like uncomfortable, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Or like every every day, at some point throughout the day, you're gonna feel some like surge of just being alone. You
Oh
just have
yeah,
to get
yeah.
used to feeling comfortable with that in some way. And just, everybody goes through that.
Yeah, what also helps is like from Comtown when Nick talks about his like depression, because he's like what I think in the future I'll be like, where he has like no friends and like doesn't like he says he has no friends and like doesn't talk to anybody and shit. And I was like, damn, that's like what it's gonna be like. And then it gives me hope because he's like still successful, but like mentally horrible. So it's like that's like good and bad, you know?
So I also feel like in like your 20s or whatever, like after college, that's when you start really meeting people. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
you're right. Yeah. Like this is like basically high school over again.
Yeah. But
And it like
it's like internal high school instead of like physical high school. You
what
know
do you
what I
mean
mean?
by that? Yeah.
Like in high school, physically, you're always like trying to make friends and be your best self and be like, you know what I mean?
Externally your best self.
Yeah. But now it's like internally, you have to,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Hmm.
And you have to like learn how to live on your own, like, doing your laundry and like
Oh yeah, yeah,
holding
I've been
yourself
doing that.
accountable for it.
Yeah. I need to find I think what would help me mentally is if I found a job and then I wouldn't have to always be thinking about like how I don't have a job. Because
Yeah,
that's always
yeah,
stressing me out.
yeah,
Because if I had just like something I could be going to and
yeah,
like I'm finally don't have to keep applying to these fucking places and I finally just have something,
yeah, yeah.
then I'll be like, got that over with.
Well, hopefully by like when your semester ends and people like will be moving out, there'll probably be like job openings.
Yeah, yeah. I'm just gonna
Because
keep
I'm,
applying.
yeah.
If I find a fucking comedy place close enough, maybe I'll just try going to that and be like, "Are you guys hiring?" Or, I don't know. That seems like a
Or
very
say
big
that you
thing for me
wanna.
to do alone, but I think I
Well, you
have
gotta,
to.
but that's what you gotta do like
Yeah,
that sort of
yeah,
things.
yeah. Because then I just imagine like Stavros and Adam and Nick. Nick started comedy when he was 16 years old, and he was like going around doing comedy. So like, if he can do that, I can do that. That's what I think. And I was like, I just gotta be more like that, like
You just
fearless.
gotta like yeah, you just gotta find a comedy place, and
Hmm.
I'm sure they have like a bunch in Orlando.
Yeah, I could probably take the
So
bus to some place or some shit.
and like I would just say like, oh, you want to trying to be like a stand-up comedian, trying to learn how to do it,
Hmm.
and then you can make friends with comedians, you know.
Yeah, and actually have some fucking friends that I like, enjoy being around. Because ultimately, the thing I imagine and daydream about is laughing with friends,
Hmm.
and
Yeah,
we did that a lot in high school and like after high school.
yeah.
No, I don't do that at all. So that's probably
Well,
just why I'm always
yes, yeah,
like the only time I laugh is when I'm listening to friends laugh with each other.
yeah.
Or
But we've heard,
sometimes I get like a little glimpse from the heavens, a little enlightenment, and a little giggle about nothing, and I'll just be giggling and feeling good.
I like, well, Brittany Persky makes
And I
me
feel
laugh.
like Buddha.
I've been listening to Brittany Persky on her podcast.
Hmm.
We forgot to do this.
Wait, what?
Wait, I gotta turn off the stupid beach. Uh,
Holy shit, I fucking forgot you were in the dorm room.
Remember, we were supposed to do this to the lunch table from Superbad?
Oh shit. Okay, hold on. Keep the photo up. Okay. Alan is the middle guy.
Oh yeah.
Um, I'm Michael Sarah, and Ronnie is the other guy,
Oh,
McLovin.
for sure.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yep. There was
Everybody's.
another. Okay. Well,
Wait,
there's like another one too.
I could do the
Uh,
Chipmunks. Alvin, Alan, obviously. Simon, Carew, glasses,
yeah.
right? Theodore, Ronnie, big, massive, milkshake.
You know what like Gage is doing?
I keep forgetting. I remembered. I was like, I should text Gage or that kid that I used to work with, Sam. And I
Yeah.
did not do
Why
that
not?
because I don't want to be like, I don't want to just send a text and never get a response, which is what happened with me because one of my classmates that I have to do an assignment with, I don't know if he gave me the wrong number or if something happened on my end, but I texted him, hey, let me know what time do you want to work on that assignment, and then he said, will do, and then never heard from him. So I don't know if it was my
You
fault.
probably were just like busy or like doing
But
something and like
also, I
for
checked in the messages. There were other messages before that were like years ago, and I think it might be just some random number that I was texting and not him. So I don't know. It's confusing.
that's weird. But um maybe I would text like the Sam kid.
Yeah, he could give me a fake ID. I could go to a fucking house party,
Why
drink,
don't you
and
text
fucking
him and be
take
like,
a
yo, what's
beer.
up?
He probably won't know me or care about it at all, so I feel like they won't go anywhere.
What about Gage?
I feel like Gage has moved on.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't you think so?
But then also I'm like thinking about what I just said and like he probably like
Like,
his feeling like
probably the same amount that I think about Gage, he thinks about me, which is like a little bit, but
also
it's still there.
I think a lot of kids like our age also like reminisce a lot about high school too.
Mhm.
Like all the time. Or it depends on like who you are.
Yeah.
He still has the same amount of followers and stuff on Instagram.
Gage?
Mhm.
Yeah. Consistency.
I would if anybody I would text Gage.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. Gage is probably a good guy to hang out with.
It's like he's nice. He's not gonna say like no, never talk to me again.
Oh,
You could
Gage would say that to me. No,
or
but
like or Abby and I recently like we didn't talk. We haven't talked at all like this whole entire school year. And then a couple of weeks ago we reconnected and we hung out and now we're like good again. So it just takes one meetup just to it won't hurt. Like look at mom. She has friends from like a million years ago. Like,
no, wait, now I was just racing through my head scenarios where I'm telling Gage about the Jewish conspiracy, and then he's like, "Oh, Jesus Christ!" But yeah, I mean, yeah, I should probably text him.
is he almost he hasn't is he almost 15 though? I don't know if he was doing
Literally
school.
no idea. You know what I did see
But
at the gym? I worked in with Austin Shepard from
mm,
middle school. I was in Mr. Fisher's class with him in the gifted program, and then
yeah,
after we worked out on a machine together, we didn't say we knew each other's names. I was just like, "Hey, can I work in with you?" And he was like, yeah, sure." And then we did that, and then after we were done, he went up fist bumped me, and I was like, "Does he know me from middle school?" And I was like, "What the fuck?" And then I was thinking, I was like,
wait,
first of
when
all,
was
that
that? When was this?
it was like just a couple days ago at the gym. I was hitting legs, and we were doing the same machine. And I was like, "Hey, can I work out with you?" Then I was like, because at first he did a set, and I was standing at the back,
Yeah,
and then I walked up, and I was like, I was looking at him, and I was like, "Is that Austin?" And I went up, and I was like, "Hey, can I work out with you?" And then he was like, "Yeah, sure." And I was like, "That is." And then,
maybe I would text him and be like, if
I
you
don't have his
ever
number.
or do you have his Instagram?
I wasn't really friends with him at all. But
Is it this guy? Stupid thing.
yeah, yeah. I'm pretty sure it was
I have his
him.
Instagram if you
What is
want
this?
it. You could just like text him and be like, yo, like,
No, I pretty much said that story because it was like somebody who I never thought I would ever meet again. It was randomly like at the gym, and I was like, "What the fuck?" And then
hmm,
also I saw Dylan Graham that went to
all
our
right.
school. Remember him? Yeah. And he's like same height, jacked, and I was like, "Damn,
He goes to
maybe
FSU. That's weird.
maybe I was seeing a different person." But I swear to God, it looked exactly like him. Like literally same height, same hair. He was looked the same that he did like on his Instagram that I saw like fucking years ago, like kind of jacked. And yeah, I know what his face looks like. He goes to FSU. Maybe he
Oh wait, no,
transfers some shit.
no. Well, because I remember, no, because
Well,
Sophie goes to UF. I'm pretty sure.
I heard UF like closed like 700 like degrees or some shit. Like some part of like their college like shut down a bunch of shit. And I was like, well, what if one of our friends was in there and just got like fucking booted? I was like, God damn,
There's actually this girl like on TikTok. She like impersonates a foreign student called Alicia.
it's gotta be racist.
Oh no, it's like it's not meant to be like harmful. It's just like a joke. And like she goes to UF and I always see it like on her TikToks and stuff. I wish I went to Florida college.
Carrie, if you went to a Florida college, what in your life would still be holding you back? Like, what things would you still have to be figuring out every day?
But I would probably still like feel the same that like I don't have any friends or anything.
And what would you do about that?
I look but like weather plays like a just a huge part of my mood.
Oh, yes, I am.
So like if it's like warm and sunny out and like nice out, then I obviously feel better about myself. So then I've like talk to people more or whatever.
But then it gets to a point where even it's warm and sunny out, and you're like, I still feel like shit.
Yeah.
And you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
But then I think just the actual act of walking outside all the time, like as much as you possibly can, like being out in the sun, helps your mood a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. But also like in comparison, like your weather to my weather. Like it was
You're on a
36 and
beach right now. What the fuck are you
cold.
talking about?
Oh yeah, I'm just
I see
kidding.
a beautiful paradise. Look at the
It was like
ocean over
30,
here.
36 and cloudy out today. So,
That's more
but,
like
but I would,
what I was thinking about. I was walking home from Walmart and I was like, it was when I was like suicidal all morning, and I was like, I want to kill myself. And then I was like, if I was horribly disabled and got hit by a car right now, that would make me happy because I would be like, oh, that's why I feel like shit because I'm disabled. But then I was walking and I have all my bodily functions, and I'm like, I just feel like shit for no reason. Like I just don't understand, you know. And wait, what did you just say about being disabled?
kind of opinion about being disabled.
What you said something that reminded me of me thinking that I should be horribly disfigured and to make me happy. Oh,
What?
it would make me like be like, oh, at least that's why my mood is that right now because it's like it's shitty outside, or
Yeah.
I'm quadriplegic, you know, something like that. Instead of just like not knowing, because like that's what I feel like most of the time, just like not knowing why I feel bad. I can't pinpoint it's anything besides myself. You know what I'm saying?
No. But also one thing I will say about this weather is that it does force you, or like me, to like stay inside to work on my script.
Yeah, I have the opposite problem. It's nice
Yeah.
outside all the time, and I'm like, ooh, I cannot be inside here making music all day. I'm wasting
So
my
why
time
not?
outside.
So can you make music somewhere else, or does it have to be in your
I've thought about doing it outside. Well, no, I've thought
apartment?
about doing homework on my laptop outside, which I might do in the future. But I
Or
wish
just
I
like
could
reading.
fucking.
Why don't you read outside?
That's a good idea. I
Get
saw
a
somebody
book.
doing that.
Like it's one of my favorite things in the world is going to the beach or just being outside and reading. Like you should do that. Do it
One
for me.
time, I was in last time I lived in Orlando. I was walking around, just like a city block, like not even on campus. I was just like walking around Orlando, and it was hot outside. It was so hot, and
Mhm.
I sat under the shade of this tree. It was like Buddha, and I just like sat there, and I was like, the shade, and I just felt very good, just sitting under the tree, looking at the day. Yeah,
You should go outside and read.
most of life is not like interesting or like cool. Most of it is just like soft
Yeah.
and like
And like
kind of
mundane.
boring and mundane. Yeah. And once you get used to that,
Yeah.
you feel like more in tune with that.
Yeah.
But then once you like kind of get disillusioned with that and you think you have to be
Yeah.
doing all this shit, then
Yeah.
you're gonna get wrapped up in all that.
But like even like with friends, like you think it's like the same like thing.
Yeah, yeah. Like I think I should always be like having a great time with a bunch of friends and like always talking to people and never being alone. And then I'm like never acting on any of those urges to go talk to like other people like that. There's also something to the just like the spontaneity of it, you know, like not planning out like, oh, I'm gonna go make friends, or just letting it happen sometime when it happens, you know. Like the lunch table, we didn't like plan to like do that. It just kind of happened,
I
you
don't
know.
even know how that started.
Yeah,
Like how
like
did Gage get over there? Or,
I wasn't Gage already over there,
maybe.
and then I
And
remember
then we just like
Matt
followed
and
you there.
like
I just
the
followed you there.
seniors. Yeah, yeah, like that's how like life usually is. It's just like you're doing. It just kind of flows. It
But like with
happens.
Abby and I, like we didn't plan to like be roommates. We just like happened to be roommates. So then, you know,
What what was the thing that like catalyzed you guys to start being closer together and like being better friends?
we started just doing more stuff together. Like we started at the end of the year last year on this time, we started watching like Twilight together and like a TV show together and do that. Or like we would just like say random thoughts out loud to each other, or like do that sort
Wait,
of
what do you
thing.
mean by that? Because I was just gonna say, would you ever just
Or just like
talk
I would just like ask her a question and like
about what? Like, do you guys are you
anything.
guys did you guys like talking about like what realm of topics? Like I like talking about like metaphysical like things. Like
Not like
what would
that.
you guys talk
Not like
about?
that.
Yeah, like
Just
movies
like
and like what?
just like pop culture or like classes or
Oh, it's like superficial things, like
yeah,
nothing like deep.
just like basic stuff.
Yeah, that's also something I hate because I hate like the superficiality of like small like
But
conversations
like
like that.
that's what you gotta do at first, and then once you're like
Hmm.
close, then you can like get into it.
Yeah,
Like
it's
Emily and I, or like you have to like be able to like flip. You can't just be like only talk about superficial stuff or only talk about that. You have to like be able
yeah,
because
yeah,
Emily and I we talk about like all sorts of stuff.
yeah.
So you might have to do like the stupid like um
Well, no, I have to learn why it matters to me,
yeah, yeah.
which I think I'm starting to learn more because like I think it's starting to feel more natural. Like,
But it's also part of the like mundane like aspect, like just talking about
yeah.
like how your day went or
But also being like aware of like what you're doing. Like
yeah,
sometimes I'll be in a social situation. This happens most of the time. I'll just freeze up because I'm not like aware of what I'm doing. But if I'm more aware of what I'm doing in the moment, I'll be like, oh, how weather's nice today, or like just make small talk easier because like
mm.
I'm in the moment with the person rather than me being like in my own head and being separate from like the situation.
Or could ask about like a project you did or something.
Yeah, I
Because
always
I feel like
freeze up when I
because
think
I
about.
like when class, I feel like everybody wants to be like spoken to. Like they don't just want to sit in silence.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like I've noticed whenever I
They want somebody,
initiate conversation, I can tell like they liked that
yeah.
I was like starting something. Because yeah, you're right.
Or, like if somebody like talked to me or complimented me or whatever, that would like just make my day or make my
Literally,
day.
it will make my day if I get to like talk to somebody that I don't usually get to talk to like that.
So why don't you just like start with people?
Yeah.
Just like, and it doesn't feel like a full conversation. Just be like, just ask like a stupid question that,
Or I should just be giving compliments that I think about giving. Like if I
yeah.
see, you know what I'm saying? Like that's what normal people do. If they want to give a compliment to somebody, they give a compliment to somebody. They don't like hold it back. But we're learning.
And that's also like in this age, like this, like we're 19 years old. So I mean, like
Hmm.
that's what we're learning how to do. Just like
Hmm. Yeah,
interact and
it's so weird not being like being in a process of development is
yeah.
so weird.
It's like in high school, you were like forced to be like in group projects together or like work together. So you would make friends with that person.
Yeah, I
And then
think it's yeah.
you'd be in the same class for like 12 years. So it's like kindergarten or whatever. So you would be comfortable with the people around you, you know?
Yeah, and we didn't have that because it was like we moved.
Maybe by the time like high school ended or like by the end of high school, I started feeling more comfortable. But like middle
Hmm.
school, I didn't. And like beginning
Yeah,
of high
same.
school, I didn't. But like, yeah.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
I,
same.
but now since you're on this big open campus, you don't really have that anymore.
Well, tomorrow's full of possibilities, Gary.
You want to work on your music tomorrow
Yeah, and I'm gonna get a lot of sleep.
and drink a lot of water. Or like not even water, like electrolytes or something.
Yeah, bro, I should have bought Gatorade. Because isn't
Yeah.
that good for when you're sick?
Yeah, because I was sick and I just drank Gatorade and I felt made me feel a lot better.
Yeah, maybe I'll go cut
Because
down.
also with like water, like I like drinking water, but like it gets like repetitive. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, yeah. As you said that, I had that exact thought. I was like, Jesus Christ, I felt like I just drank this. Hmm.
You gotta just like have like 5 minutes or like a minute where you just chug a water bottle.
Yeah, that's right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I did that. Yeah, I usually actually like I kind of do that like every day. Because I'll be like, I definitely my
Because
body
like
will feel good if I have a full
yeah,
one of these.
because like I don't like take because if I don't take sip, if I like just like take little sips the other day, I don't get enough water. But if I just
Same.
If I'm just like chugging it, then I get
Yeah,
like,
my goal is to like finish a bottle, not like just take a sip, you know? Like my
yeah.
goal is to I'm thinking like chug chug chug, you know?
Because I was just gonna sit at my desk the rest of the day. Like,
Hmm. Yeah,
so yeah. Well, it's 11 o'clock.
yeah. Time to go to bed.
What time do we start this?
Fucking hours ago.
I
Wait, let's
mean,
check the text. I think you said Ben ready. It was 7:59, 3 hours ago. Bro, I'm gonna fucking. It's gonna.
well,
Carrie,
like
do you
the
think I should cut
first,
this episode up into multiple? Like, should I like edit it down to what is good, or should I not?
well, because like there's definitely like a one part and then another part.
Like,
You know what I mean?
like how I described it in the show notes. Block A, Block B, Block C. We
Well,
definitely had
like,
that.
once we got past all the your stuff,
Yeah.
then
See, I just have to get that shit out of me because I
yeah, I
literally
know.
was thinking about that for almost a
I
whole.
just have to like, I just have to like get through like the hour and a half worth of torture, and then I can.
Yeah, it's torture for me because I don't like living in a place where like the Jews run my whole life.
Do you think we're gonna get demonetized for you saying
Oh
that?
yeah, well I haven't even uploaded the last episode because I was like, there's no way.
What does it do like like three strikes and you're out, or
Yeah,
like
yeah, I feel like if I upload one of these, we'll get fucked. See, I don't know what to do. Like, do we have to just self-censor ourselves like my fucking American government essays? Is
well,
that
like
how we
does Joe
fucking do these?
Rogan? What does Joe Rogan do? Is he like for
Well, he
example?
doesn't outright go crazy like what I say, but
You know,
he's definitely more questioning,
I think he does it a lot off camera,
subtler. Oh yeah.
more off
Well,
camera.
also like the UFC is owned by Jews, so he can't really be too much outright against that because they pay him. Same
Well,
with I think Spotify too. I think Spotify.
or like just like just in general, like not about the Jewish people.
Yeah. It's not really about the Jewish people. It's more about just the people who fucking own all the companies. Because there's like
Yeah.
all the companies are pretty much owned by each other, and it makes just one big company that
Hmm.
owns everything.
Yep.
And I know that's real, and I try to wrap my mind around it, and I just see people living their days and
But
like,
there's no way you can like escape it. So I mean, like,
yeah, but we can change it by
you know, but
like literally being enlightened beings. Like that's what Buddhism is all about. Like living your life, you know.
like to get everybody on the same page about it, like that would take.
Exactly, yeah, but it's possible because before we had language, we were on the same page because that's how animals exist. They kind of exist on like the same like conscious plane, and we're all like in a low conscious plane where we have war and like terror and fear. And the idea is that we're supposed to all like kind of rise up together
Yeah.
and understand it, but you know it's hard.
Also, I feel like you, because I think if people like watch this, they're gonna sit through like an hour long worth of just you talking about that, and they
Yeah,
have to. I don't know. I mean, you could talk about it, but I would just like, I don't know.
yeah. I don't know how to articulate it in a way that in the moment it was interesting to me, as interesting
What
to
if
me.
you like, what if you like journal about it and just like,
Yeah, yeah, that's the best way to get an articulate message out
then it's
is to
out.
write it down. Hmm.
So why don't you start doing that in your schizophrenic notebook?
Yeah, yeah. Most of that notebook is just like either like a journal entry or like planning out like some part of my life, like how to do something
Yeah.
in the right way or whatever.
So like, I would like tomorrow if you have like an idea or whatever, I would like write it. Like, don't even think about what you're writing. Just like,
Yeah, that's my favorite thing doing.
just I would try doing that, and then that could
Stream
be
of
one.
consciousness
Yeah,
writing.
I would try doing that tomorrow because I can tell you were definitely holding all this in.
Yeah. Hmm.
So try writing it.
If I wrote it down, imagine I had a detailed. I could go against all your counter arguments and why you're wrong. You know, I could run down all those facts. cold
Yep.
hard evidence.
Yep. Why don't you write it next time?
Yeah. Also, we should. I mean, we should have more like weekly based topics and talk about like what's happening week by week. You know what I'm saying?
Like,
Because I want it to be like, oh, that's the week that that thing happened. That was a cultural event, and then Karun and Carrie talked about
talk
that.
like in the pop culture aspect, or just like in a
Yeah,
day to
kind of. Yeah, kind of. Yeah, and like how that kind of relates to like everything, which is pretty much what most people do because they talk about current events.
yeah.
But yeah,
And then when I like look back on it, then you like, oh, like, we were talking about this. Like,
yeah.
well, one thing I will say, this is kind of like hot or hot take or whatever. I I don't like chaperone.
Wait, what?
You know, chaperone.
Oh, I thought you said chat room, and then I thought you said chat Carew, and I was like, what? And then you said, and then I heard Chappelle Rowan.
Chapel.
Oh, Chapel Rowan.
You know,
That's how you say her
they're
name.
like, yeah. Oh, I mean, I don't
Oh yeah,
like either.
no, she's definitely like the way that I hate myself for how I talk like this past like 3 hours. That's how I perceive how she feels about herself. Like she probably says all that and then is like, "Fuck, I'm so embarrassing." Like
I just like,
that's how
I just
you know.
like lately I've been really like not liking industry plants or whatever.
Yeah,
Like,
same.
I mean,
I'm
I like
feeling
for like I like Sabrina Carpenter, or like I like some of her songs, but like I don't know,
it
just like a
feels
lot.
like she's an industry plant. Like all of them feel like manufactured. And
But
then
like they are,
the way
because like
the yeah,
their
yeah.
managers like put them up to do like 50 million concerts in the year,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
then like more
Just like
people see it.
Roy Lotus, they probably have a Jewish manager. But what was I just gonna fucking say? What was it? My fucking train of thought is going. What were you gonna say?
Um,
Oh, Chappelle Roan, Chapel Roan. What do you hate about? What do you dislike about her?
I don't
What irks you?
something ever since like she's because I know I got a hold of her before she went big, like in March, because she
Wait,
has a song.
all the way back in March? Really?
This one actually always happens to me too. Like I always get people before they're famous
Yeah,
too.
yeah, yeah. That's definitely a carry trend. Yeah, yeah.
Like, yeah, I could be like it, like yeah,
You could be a talent scout. One of those bullshit
uh-huh.
jobs like that.
Yeah. But yeah, I started listening to Chapel in like February, March or whatever, in January, and then like she started getting really
All the
big,
way
and
back
then
in January of like 2024.
I think so. I think
Wow.
somewhere like in the last semester
I
or
feel
spring
very
semester,
good. I'm gonna hit this while you talk. I'm feeling
and
very
then
good. Keep talking.
and then during the summer she got like really big and everything. And I'm just like kind of sick and tired of it, kind of.
Just spit facts, Carrie.
Yeah. And then like, but then it's the opposite with like Charlie. Well, I
Charlie
don't really
Rose?
Charlie XCX.
Oh, you
I
like
don't
her?
I don't well because I don't really listen to her music. But I kind of like the vibe she gives with like the pretty and like messy girl, and you don't have to be perfect all the time and all of that, and you don't have to live up to anybody's like expectation or standards or that sort of thing. You know what I mean?
Carrie, I have a question. Where do you think I should record like songs? Like, do you think I should just suck it up and just do it right here with this? Or should I like go to a little booth like somewhere? Like, what do I do? Because I should probably be making songs and not being a pussy and like not making music like
Well,
that.
if you think about like Billie Eilish and Phineas, it's like Billie lyrics and like the very like um real like lyrics. You know what I mean? Like it's like vulnerable stuff, and like she sang that in front of her brother. Like imagine you doing that with me or me doing that with you. Like you just have to like. Or
Yeah.
like, is there a time in the day with like you don't really your roommates aren't there or whatever? I don't know. What can I hear you?
The walls are very thin. So I feel like it'd be rude to just sing all the time, even though that's like what I should. That's a skill that I want to get good at, you know.
Yeah.
But I don't want to be like obnoxious like that.
Well, do you know like how to sing?
I have sung before and I've done like covers, so I definitely can get into the zone. I just need the
Like,
space.
yeah. It's like Trinity, like she used to
Yeah,
sing all
like
the time and then she got
yeah,
into singing lessons and now she can like really
yeah. Like I can like if I'm actually like have like space and I don't feel like anybody's like listening to me, I can just like be free and like actually sing. I can definitely do it. I just haven't built myself like this environment to
do you
like do that.
like is is there like a music department? Because usually
Yeah, there
there's like
is.
little
Yeah,
like
and there's rooms, but I think you have to be a music student, like a music major, to use those rooms. So I'm like,
can you like
fuck, I
ask
don't know.
somebody about that? Because like you're
True. See, I thought like just asking somebody would be a stupid idea, but like
no,
maybe that's a good
it
idea.
doesn't. It never hurts to ask anybody. Because how are you supposed to know if you never ask? You know, because then like the opportunity, then you like maybe later you can find out you could have done it. You know,
Yeah, because I know there's a studio on campus that people like
so,
book time in, but the
yeah.
problem
Why
is
don't you go do that?
you're only allowed to use it once a week, and you have to book like months in advance. I was like, fuck. I was like, Jesus
So
Christ.
it's like here at MSU they have like little soundproof rooms.
Yeah, yeah, they have those, and they also have like a studio with
Yeah,
equipment. But I'm really looking for that soundproof room, so I'm gonna, maybe I can call that building tomorrow or
yeah. Why don't you do that?
someday this week and ask like if I can use it.
Well, you should do it tomorrow, so before it like leaves your brain, and then you're like, oh, you shouldn't ask.
Hmm.
That
Yeah,
like comes back in. You know, you
yeah,
should do it while it's fresh. It's like they have like a music producing like program there. It's
yeah.
just
It's
like
weird. They just don't have the major like to
yeah,
produce music, which is like exactly what I could be
they need to
fucking.
start doing that because like more like people want to start doing that. You know,
Hmm. Yeah,
do they have like a music theory class?
they do.
You
And
should take that
yeah, I should for real because I would love to
because
actually
you
know how to use that
yeah.
to really understand song structure
So then
and
you
how to
yeah
make something cohesive. I realized walking around my music, I I can't make it sound as cohesive as I want it to.
yeah
Like I can make elements of music, but I
yeah.
can't make the whole cohesive thing feel
It
like it
is.
fits together
And I
good.
think that's like part of music theory that would maybe
Oh
help
yeah,
you.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Like sound selection
Yeah.
based on like what sounds will actually go together is very, very important.
So you should take that class.
Yeah. I remember like trying to register for that, and I think something might have stopped me, but I'm not sure.
Maybe try again or something. Or
Hmm.
aren't you making your own major?
Yeah, but okay. See, the thing is, I don't know if that's me being overzealous about how much I want to be like an academic and
Mhm.
be like a writer, but part of me does want to be like
But
more into.
the time to do it is like now more than anything. While you're
Mhm,
like in that environment, have
mhm.
like a university and all that. You know?
Yeah, yeah. Because everybody on podcasts that I listen to, I always look up to people who are like in those kind of fields, like pretty much
Hmm.
just doing what they're doing. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Whether it's a music producer or a physicist, somebody who works in the government who like studies like fucking aliens and shit. Like they're all just doing their thing.
I would do it if anything.
Yeah. I'm thinking I'm gonna go towards more like religion and philosophy and design. Especially I want to take design because I feel like that'll help me learn how to create aesthetically pleasing imagery, which will help me understand like what looks aesthetic to the eye and how I can use those things and also like change certain things to make it look different and look like, whoa, that looks different, you know?
Mhm.
Because like ultimately learning the foundations of like aesthetics and like art teach you how to like break those rules to make things look different and unique.
And if you're taking that, you probably get into music theory.
Hmm. Yeah, hopefully that'll be cool.
Did you pick your classes for next semester?
No, you know what happened? I've been in this phase of like inactivity and like depression, and
Yeah.
I made an appointment with my advisor to pick the classes, and then it was like Thursday, last
Yeah.
Thursday, completely forgot whatsoever. The entire day, I think I was on my phone, just like literally not even thinking. Just, and then I was like, fuck, I missed that appointment. You kidding me? I was like so on top of it for like 3 months of like doing things
Yeah.
on time and like, and I felt like, whoa, what the fuck happened? Like, why am I depressed? Like, what the
So
fuck's happening?
make a new appointment
Yeah,
tomorrow. Put on your post-it.
yeah,
Because you just said you wanted to be like the studious person and do all this. So you have to like,
yeah. And I
and
got
you have
this.
to do summer class, like summer classes too.
Mm,
So yeah, I told you I'm doing psychology next year.
yeah, what made you and Kirsten like choose the?
Well, I thought I told you. Wait, I'll tell you my classes.
Okay.
Listen,
It feels like you're living in somebody's fucking house. This is
that's
maddening.
that's what it feels like.
Yeah,
That's
yeah, yeah.
like what it feels like. It doesn't feel like it's mine. Like
I walk by couples who look happy, and I want to hurt them because I'm
yeah,
so sad on the inside. I can't imagine like living with that. That is horrible.
yeah. That's what I'm really excited for next year. Because it's
Hmm.
like
Yeah, that'll be good.
types of taking intro to psych, digital film and media theory, intro to screenwriting.
Oh, you chose intro to screenwriting.
Yeah, well, it's part of like my requirement.
Mm. I wonder if you'll
Like
learn anything new that you didn't know since you've like been screenwriting.
probably just maybe like taking criticism or something.
Yeah.
Because like when I show it to you, you don't know anything about screenwriting.
Yes, I don't know how to like give you good advice. You know, I can just tell you like how I think the
And
story
I
unfolds
yeah,
as an
and I
audience.
and I like the professor who teaches it. So I've
Oh,
had
that's
it
good.
before.
Yeah.
So
Bro, it kind of sucks that I won't have my geography professor because like I was so excited like going to that class like because learning about like meteorology and like how the earth systems work. I never actually focused on that shit in school, and I actually am learning it this year, so it's really cool.
yeah, that's how I felt about my philosophy professor, my Gothic literature and film professor. The same person, but I had him freshman year with semesters, and I liked him a lot.
How did he make you like philosophy? Like, how did he make you like think about it more?
I was like the way he made me like think about it, like in a different way, or like I never thought to think of it that way, or like it just inspired me.
Did you carry that on like until today?
Yeah.
What's an example of like something he said that like
He just
stuck
like
with you?
he just like made me feel more like studious, you know.
Mm.
Sort of.
Was that because of an experience in class that you had like talking with him or what?
Um, he said, I think he said I was like a good writer
Oh, that's nice.
once or twice or something, like an assignment.
Well,
And I just like he was like a really nice person. Stuff. Yeah. And then I'm taking a class in film genres. Hello?
oh, sorry, I was focusing on their conversation. I'm trying to listen to what they're talking about. Sorry. Jesus Christ.
Do you understand it?
Yeah, for real, that's so distracting.
But like, do you know what?
Film genres?
No, can you understand like
Oh
that?
no, no, barely. It's like a little bit unintelligible, so it's hard to. That's why I was like focusing in.
We can, oh, it's 11:30, so you have to end this
Okay,
soon. All right, and I'm taking film genres.
that'll be cool.
But okay, two things. The class is divided into like two parts. It's like two class. They like added on another class to it or whatever. So it's from like 4 p.m. to 9:50 p.m. But like it's split into two, so it goes from like 4:10 to 6, and then 7:10, 9:50. But I already took the 7 to 9 class
Oh, that's what
last
that was.
semester.
Oh,
Because it's like a film collective where you just watch movies. So I
oh,
think that's why they added it because it's like a film genre thing.
okay, bro. I thought you were about to
But
have to go to a 4 hour class every
but
week. I
I
was like,
already I already took it, so I might be able to miss it. Not have to take it. So I might just be there from like 4 to 6.
oh
I
yeah,
don't know.
because you already did the other section, right?
But then if there's like a movie that I want to watch in it that it's like interesting, then it's fine.
Mm-hmm.
And it's only on Thursdays.
Mm-hmm. Just once a week. Yeah, that's
But
a
this
longest class.
well, Kirsten was like, "Oh man, I should have like a 12:40 to 2:30 class." But I'm like, I have 12:40 to 3 o'clock, and
Wait, which one is that?
it's actually a her schedule. She said at 12:40 to 2:30. It's um uh what's the it's not philosophy. It's like anatomy and oh, it's physiology. And I'm just like, I have that class like all the time. That's like my class times. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just gonna. I think in the summer I'm taking like the last of my required courses,
Yeah.
and then I can like specialize or whatever.
Yeah. And then I would see if you take like music theory or
Yeah, yeah,
that sort of thing.
or like some interdisciplinary studies, like whatever
Yeah.
like thing I kind of make up with it.
That's cool that you can like make your own major.
Yeah, yeah,
I wish they had that here. That'd be pretty much. But
yeah. There's
I,
like yeah,
wait, what?
it's like two separate things. Like one of them is like make your own, which is called IGS. One of
Mhm.
them is called IDS, which is like two majors and a minor. So it's like pretty much a collection of three or make your
Mhm.
own. And I think I'm going towards the collection of three one, just to do kind of multiple fields. But yeah, maybe. I don't know.
We should though, because
Yeah, that would be cool. That'd be fun. I
it's
just
like,
have doubt
do you want?
that I would be interested enough to like keep it going to actually graduate with two majors and a minor, you know?
You just
I feel
gotta.
like it would just be something that I was like, oh yeah, that'd be cool, and then I would not do it. But I don't know how much I'm like into that.
Well, you never know unless you're in it.
Hmm. Yeah, I guess I gotta do it and then see if it's the right idea or not.
Mm.
There was this quote from somebody that was like, everything has a place and you have to move it to find its place.
Yeah.
Because when you move it, you either find that it was in the wrong place or it was in the right place all along. That's what kind of like everything is. Either
I
like,
could I could see you being like a writer that like lives in the woods or like
yeah, 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 yeah,
is
yeah,
secluded.
yeah. Living in a cabin in the woods and just like walking every morning with a cup of coffee through the woods, looking at the sun. Oh my God. Literally daydream about
And
that
then like you come out every once in a while to like go
with a
produce
book.
music.
Yeah,
You go produce music in like LA or
yeah.
whatever. Or you have your own in-house studio so they have to come to you to do.
Mm. Or just like release it like digitally, you know. It would be funny to release like phonographs or like vinyls that people have to play on phonographs, like the original shit. Or make a movie you have to watch on like that movie box.
Oh,
Remember that
the
shit?
Vinaphone, I think it's called.
Yeah, I
Or
remember
Kinetoscope.
we were laughing at this shit so hard.
Oh no, the Vitascope was it was like a hologram, not or like a projection thing. It was like the first projection thing
Wow.
on like in an auditorium thing. And then like
Uh,
kinetoscope was the thing. Actually, for my mark for because I'm thinking of like marketing things for my TV show. That'd be cool that like if they're still around that you could like find a kinetoscope to like see like a clip or like a trailer or preview of the thing because it's kind of like has that
yeah,
aesthetic.
that's the kind of idea that you should try to do, Because there's definitely a way that you can make that happen and make it
It's like
look like that.
yeah, because like with like this TV show, I want to be like in every single aspect of it, like with costuming and directing and writing and all this. Like I want to be in every department. So it's like my child.
Now that you said that, ideas are like children, like
Yeah,
beings that like created, that
yeah,
grow, but then they get to a point where they can't be in your control anymore. You have to let them go. You know
yeah,
what I'm saying? So at a point, you're gonna have to let go of your
yeah.
like ideal of that, to see what becomes of it.
Yeah. Like when I like release it
Hmm.
or
Or when
whatever.
you're in the process of actually making it with like a
Or
whole
like
crew.
with like actors, like with the
Mhm.
characters, they have to like,
Yeah,
okay, this is my writing of the character. Now this is your interpretation of it.
yeah,
You know?
yeah. And like the way they inflect the lines and like deliver everything will be a
Yeah.
certain way, and you'll have a certain idea in your mind, and it might be different, but then you might find like gold in how different it is.
Mm,
It might be different in a way that you couldn't write how
yeah.
good it was. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Or like, the movie The Holdovers?
yeah, yeah.
Okay. Was that shot? Do you think that was shot on film when you see it?
I haven't
Mm.
seen it, but
Oh,
it looks. I think it looked like it was. I think I saw the trailer.
was it on film?
Oh, I thought you were asking me like if it was or wasn't. I thought it was.
Well,
Didn't
it
it look
actually
like?
wasn't. It's on digital. They shot on digital.
Mhm.
And I just thought, and like even like with the lettering, they like moved it a little bit to make it like jittery to get that
Mhm.
vintage feel. That's
Yeah,
like, and they made it like with texture and coloring to make it look like on film. That's what I want to do with this.
yeah, that'd be cool.
It's like I would love to shoot on film, but like realistically, it's like really expensive. We'll see. I don't know.
I wonder if there's gonna be a new like
Yeah,
medium, and
yeah,
like what that would be.
yeah. Because digital didn't really start until like the 90s. Really. That's like
Actually,
when,
the internet was like a military invention, like a DARPA
yeah.
invention from the '60s that they did to connect like
But like it was used
universities.
in for like space, or that was like a calculator thing.
Well, it was used.
It's like
Well, yeah, that was like
boxes.
the first computers, but
Yeah.
the first internet like system that was an interconnected network of separate like systems was for the universities to send information, large packets of information to each other.
Hmm.
And this guy Jacques Vallée, who's now like he's a physicist. He's in the UFO world because he has his own idea of what it is. He calls it the phenomenon, and he basically is saying kind of what Jung said about like UFOs and aliens, that it's our manifestation of something. I forgot what it was, but we are manifesting them, and they're not they're not necessarily completely separate entities just
Hmm.
coming over here towards us in this material like realm. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of it is like interdimensional things. A lot of it is angelic and demonic. Bro, fucking the nonverbal autistic kids who go to the hill and shit, they were saying they talk to God and they talk to angels and they like can live in like this heaven space with angels and God. And the reason why they can do all that is because they're like full of love and like they really don't have anything like holding them back like spiritually, like we do, you know?
Yeah.
And now whenever I see, I always think of them like a Jesus figure, you know what I'm saying? Like a Buddha. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
Because they like don't hold any hate or like
Yeah, yeah.
anything like that. I don't know if they're
And
like
also,
able to or not,
yeah.
but
And there's so much like how schizophrenics are like so much getting all that extra outside information that they're not like able to control themselves in this like realm that we live in, you know? It looks weird and different, but if you take the time to like either listen to the nonverbal autistic kids like letterboard say what they're like seeing and doing, or if you like talk to schizophrenic people, like that's why a lot of them have like will like know some shit and it's like how the fuck do you know that? Because like I think like the Egyptians had this idea of the Akashic records, which was like the internet, but like the organic internet, how every living being is connected in our minds, you know? And the internet is kind of like a physical manifestation of something we already have, you know? But nobody ever really thinks about it like that. Or at least I didn't until like I was listening to Jacques Vallée talk about him interacting with early versions of the internet called ARPANET in 1970, like three or whatever. And he said it would give you like a dissociative experience, like the same way you get pulled into your phone,
yeah.
like sucked in. Like he was having that like back when they were just starting the fucking ARPANET.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
imagine how like much
Like I've
stronger that is today. It's crazy.
but also I feel like people did that with books too. They just get sucked into books
Yeah,
and
yeah. And this is just technology the same way
yeah.
text and books are.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why it was also so interesting to learn about how Socrates was like not a fan of writing, or was it Plato? One of them. And he, because writing was a new technology at the time,
Oh yeah. Yeah.
and he was like, no, you need to use your memory. You have a memory,
Yeah.
you have a mouth. You need to use your body and
Yeah.
remember things and orate things and think about things. You don't need to write things down and have all that
Yeah.
knowledge outside of your brain. That's what he said, at least. And that changed the way I think about text. Because, like, this is so convenient and helpful and useful, but it's also like an ultra book. It's like the same way that all that text in a book is like not necessarily good to have outside of your mind, you know? The same way Socrates was saying. Like, imagine he would say if he had a phone or a laptop. Like, imagine it must
That
feel
well, I don't know
so
how to use it.
demonic, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Kira, do you think technology is like evil?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I think so too. That's why I think nature is like good and like feel
Yeah.
like technology is more like evil.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's hard because I also use technology, like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? So I can't, I'm participating in it, but, you know, I don't know what to do.
Participating in the Jewish companies every
Yeah,
day.
literally, like, yeah, yeah.
Your
I
Gatorade
was
bottle
gonna tell you this.
or MacBook.
Um, the mob and the mafia, they went from bugging hotel rooms to convincing everybody to bug themselves, and now I've bugged my whole room all by myself with my own money too. I paid for it. I paid for my own bugging. You know, it's crazy.
No, it's almost 12.
It is almost 12. It's time to go to bed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Good night,
you know what you're
Carrie.
doing tomorrow? You have your to-do list for tomorrow.
I do.
You're gonna do all of those things. You're gonna go to your class.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You're gonna do your work.
What are you gonna do? You gonna do the same?
You have to go to
Carrie,
class.
you should go to the gym tomorrow. Because I
Yes.
can't. You should do it for me.
My class gets out at 7. So I'll just like wear my workout clothes. Like I just have leggings
Wait,
and
why not go to gym before 7?
well, my class starts, it's like my day starts at 12:40 because that's when my first class starts. And like they're
Okay,
back to back. So I do.
why not
But
go
I'm
to the
going to
gym
Kirsten.
before 12:40?
I'm going to Kirsten's before my
Oh,
class. So I'm gonna like wear what I'm wearing to the gym to class. So I could just
You're
go
gonna go
straight
at
to the gym.
nighttime. Okay, but
Yeah. Just go straight to the gym after. I probably won't do like a lot. Maybe I
because
will.
yeah, because it'll be nighttime.
And it's like my first day back after. So I'll probably just do like cardio and maybe abs or something.
Yeah,
That'll probably
yeah,
be
get
like
those
10 minutes.
abs. Yeah, because I was thinking about doing abs tomorrow, and if
I
I
kind of lost because remember I had like a little bit. I kind of lost it all.
okay, that is not how that works, brother.
Well,
You
I
just
don't. I
gotta
just like
yeah. It's
because I
because
haven't
it's
trained the muscle in a
yeah,
while,
yeah,
so I
because
feel
you're
like
not
get that.
using it. Yeah,
But once I start doing that again, then
like the same way you said, Cree looks skinny, and now I've been thinking about that for the past 3 hours.
it's just like your shoulder,
Wait, what part? This part? This part?
like this,
Okay. Oh, the chest.
well, like your shoulders.
Uh, this is
But you're when you're just like this, it looks skinny. But when you're just like sitting up straight, it looks big.
really.
Yeah, because you're just like this, so it's like you look skinny.
Yeah, it's
If you're
because
like this,
the rear delts are not like pulling back. My
yeah,
shoulders like strong enough. I need to get those bitches pulled back nice and strong. But yeah, I gotta go to bed, Carrie.
yeah. I gotta go.
Yeah, thanks for talking, bro. It's gonna take
It's
so
four
long to.
hours.
It's gonna
Well,
take so long to upload this shit.
maybe you just like split it into two, figure out
Maybe
where you
this could be
stop at.
fucking a month worth of episodes. Fuck yeah.
Well, it was like we didn't do it for like 2 weeks or whatever.
Oh yeah, true. Maybe we just accidentally made up for all that lost time, and
Yeah,
we just didn't
yeah,
even think we were doing that, but we just happened to do it. That's
yeah.
funny.
And like we recorded the whole way, we didn't like stop it all.
Yeah, I'm gonna stop it right now though. So